because they've been smoking so long. You know the lines.
Yeah.
And the yellow mustache.
Oh, not the yellow stash.
Just frayed at the
Yellow fingernails.
Ever so lightly.
My great grandma died.
They look like Voldemort.
I need a cigarette.
No, my great grandma died at 106, I think. She was a smoker and drinker all the way till her deathbed.
But she, I believe, is superhuman.
Yeah,
She's a minority.
She's
Okay.
Filipino.
That's what's up.
Old minorities, I always think are superhuman.
Yeah.
How did you get this far through racism?
She was probably walking with her hands behind her back from like 30.
Yo, that is a stance.
Yeah.
Oh man, did your parents have? By the way, guys, we're joined by two amazing comedians from the city. Well, not entirely from the city.
From the city.
Might have a traitor amongst us.
Living in the city.
Living in the city.
Look at me,
Introduce yourselves,
America.
gentlemen.
You take it?
Yo, respect, my guy.
Let's start at home.
Yo, happy to be here on Extra Gravy. It's Abbas Wahab with the immigrant section. Appreciate y'all having me.
That is our first time using that sound, and you were the first man to get the reggae horns.
That's
sir.
what it is.
Also, make sure you guys check out his podcast, The Immigrant Section. Me and Norm have both been on it. I think it's time you get an intern on, man.
Okay, that's what it is. We're connected, networking.
I just forced you into a podcast. Nah, but we also have...
My name is Hassan Phils. Yeah.
Yo.
We all planned on
My
making
name
this
is
awkward for you. I'm joking.
My name is Hassan Phils. I don't have a podcast.
But you do dope shows.
Yes, I
man.
do. I do dope shows. I do stand-up comedy, and
And
Immigration
you're really
law.
good at it.
I'm in my Instagram bio. It says immigration lawyer.
And the beard, you look like an immigration lawyer. Like, I would get immigration advice from you 100%, bro. It's lined up perfectly.
That beard screams immigration experience.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So it's in your bio, but do you actually practice?
absolutely not.
Okay. Did you go to school for it or anything?
Absolutely.
No? Okay, good. Just making sure. Oh, man. So, wait. When did everybody decide they were going to be comedians?
Ooh, that's a good question.
When did you guys say, okay, I'm lazy enough?
I think I decided to take it to the stage like 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
3-4 years ago. But
Nice.
before that, I was doing like content creating.
Okay.
Just, like shits and giggles. But I was already doing that with my boys. Just like making.
Was it YouTube and Instagram and shit? Okay.
YouTube and Instagram, even like Facebook. But I would like to just like. I would make videos just to capture like moments and memories. So that I could like watch it way back. Like it's like
This guy
a digital
invented
time
Snapchat.
Hey,
I did this for memories and moments.
You sound like a CEO with a hand talk. You know what I mean?
I'm Hassan.
We're all
Hassan
together.
Jobs.
We have an amazing team.
Yo, when did you get into it?
Yo, you know that I used to be an engineer before all this shit.
I mean, I had a feeling.
Yeah. When I arrived, I was like, I used to be an engineer. They're like, okay, you could sit over there. Have a seat. They'll be here shortly.
Was it like a nano technology?
Yeah, that was the degree. That I didn't work in anything like that.
Okay,
but the degree was just some like. It's called nanotechnology engineering, and the only reason I did it is because it's a sick name, right? That's a sick name, right?
This guy wants to be
That's a
Tony
sick
Stark.
name. Yeah. Everybody in the program was
So
had
that
no
wasn't,
idea.
that
why
was
to
an
be-
immigrant parent pressure?
Oh no! I knew. I was like, which engineering am I gonna choose?
Yeah, okay. So it's like engineer for sure. But
That
which
was the
one is the coolest for me?
Exactly.
Nice.
And he went to Waterloo, man. I did that tour with my parents too.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
This guy's got a way better story. I was in Waterloo as a fucking like an engineering student, along with like tens of thousands of others.
They have like this one building at University of Waterloo that's like built like a CPU
Test.
but it's just like a.
Isn't that where they have Blackberry or some shit like that?
Yeah. It was
Blackberry
depressing to
factory.
see, bro.
They're calling it like the new tech mecca of Canada, I guess, or whatever.
It was the Ontario Silicon Valley.
Yo, first.
I hate that.
Yo,
I hate that.
first year of Waterloo, everybody, that was back when everybody had a Blackberry Pearl. Remember the Pearl? The
Yeah,
hottest
cheapest
phone out.
one. This is the cheapest one.
5 years later when I'm graduating, bro, fucking Blackberry Rim it's called. It was a depressing sight, yo. Every year the parking lot's just emptier and emptier, laid off, they're selling their buildings.
So
They
you
just
were there
died.
during the transition.
When Apple did the hard left turn takeover, I was there, bro.
Yo, you got to witness it
I was
firsthand.
there, bro.
Were any of your friends like workers?
First year, everyone was getting co-ops. They used to hire crazy co-ops because the owners came from Waterloo. So they're like, we got Waterloo's back. We're right here. We never forgot home.
Ah.
But then, like, as I was graduating, they didn't get any interns. They were just, like, trying to figure out how to survive as a business.
See, this is why
know?
you forget home.
That's what's up
Get
right
home
there.
and they would have thrived.
That's the power of Apple, bro.
If they brought that to Silicon Valley from the jump, they would have been perfectly fine. They would have been in the know. They would have known Apple was coming. They would have known how to maneuver. And you can't do that shit from fucking Waterloo. Nobody,
Yeah, exactly.
nobody's
like, yeah,
pivoting in Waterloo.
all our competitors are in Silicon Valley, but we can make it work from here, right?
So have your parents ever seen your stand-up?
They've seen.
Do they know you do stand-up?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been like 6 years now, but my parents have never been to shows. They actually still don't understand what I'm doing. But I did engineering for 3 years, and the last year I was doing open mics at night.
Okay.
And then I got laid off and lost my visa. Had to move back to Canada. I was in the States for 3 years. And then when I moved back to Canada, I was like, fuck getting another engineering job. Let's move to Toronto, grind, and just like figure out what I got to do to make money or all that rent
Yeah.
shit. And that was like a minute back. That was like 2018. I came out here to Toronto.
Listen, hey, you've been paying rent for 3 years in Toronto. God
Yeah,
bless.
thank you for sir, bro.
Amazing.
COVID.
You did it.
COVID
You
was
did
the
it.
best thing that happened to me. Financially, COVID was the best thing that happened to me.
For a
bro.
lot of people that they don't want to admit it. A lot of
Did you
people
guys
don't want to admit
Did you guys just sign the petition to extend CRB?
There's a petition.
There's a petition?
I will
Send me
sign
the
up.
link.
Everyone is immediately signing it.
This man right here has been tweeting in caps lock.
Me too. I tweeted it and a guy retweeted going,
On lockdown, I'm gonna be pissed off.
I'll send it to you, yo. I tweeted and someone's like tweeted the link to me. They're like, well, Canadians are this. And I did it right away. I didn't see if it was fake, nothing. Email, phone number, address.
100,000 signatures. 100,000.
It was a JG Wentworth Twitter. It's like you're awarded this much money. That's crazy. Yeah, no, the CERB thing. I know a lot of people who like are doing way better. Like just it's not even necessarily a financial like. It's not like they're doing crazy better, but they're just more comfortable and at ease knowing that someone else is taking care of the financials.
It's like when you go to ball runs and that team that loses, but there's no they want to run it back, they do it quietly. You're just like, yo, run it back.
Run it back. So the other team doesn't even
So the
realize.
other team realizes that they call next, and they're like, yo, we call next, bro.
Yo, it's 3-4, dog. Just 3 more points. Just allow it. Yeah, no.
One more quarter.
That was
fam.
definitely me. I was that guy for sure. So yeah, your parents do know, but they've never been. Same with mine. I won't allow them. to be
I
honest.
have very old school. Like I'm born in Sudan. I came from Sudan. My mom, like my dad's very sick. He had like a stroke. He's like, my dad can't even watch a show if he could. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But my mom is like a non-religious. You know what I mean? She's beginning to wrap her head. What's funny is all of the troubles I had in explaining to them what I do disappeared when I got booked to do a random fucking McDonald's billboard. Bro,
long
as
as your
soon
face
as
is
they
on-
saw my
Yeah.
face on a McDonald's billboard, has nothing to do with any of the efforts I'm making. That's it. They were just like, "That's my son.
Yeah. Good.
He's
This is
killing
good.
it.
Yeah.
Fuck everything."
Same
this was 3 years ago, and I'm living off that.
Same shit here. I think when my mom saw me do the VJ search, I was gone.
just saw
I
it,
left
right?
my house for 2 years at that point.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like one of those left your house like not. Hey mom, I'm moving out in 4 months.
gone.
Help me, blah, blah. No, middle of a conversation, jacket gone, out. Figured it out for 2 years. Ended up on the VJ search. Got to the finale. My mom showed up at the finale. Hadn't seen my mom in 2 years.
Damn.
Nobody knows that shit. When you see my mom like cheering me on at the back and everything. I hadn't seen my mom for 2 years.
Start crying.
Until that episode is when I saw her, my little brother, my little sister.
How'd you not break down? This nigga's a cold-hearted killer, bro.
No,
Are you?
I
You
was
got no heart, bro.
I was choked up when I saw them at the start of the show.
Gotcha,
It's not like they're like, oh, by the way, your mom's here. Like, it wasn't one of those.
I thought while you were up there, you saw them in the crowd. You know.
Mommy! Like, no.
Mama.
Imagine that. They're like, your mom's here. Oh, hey, what up, mom?
Mama.
So, VJ search, right? Lady Gaga.
Doing me.
But yeah, no, I hadn't seen my mom in a minute, but because she saw that, 2 years prior before that,
Gone.
Forget about it.
I love it.
Yeah, kid.
I love it.
Like, you know
I
what I
love
mean?
that.
So it's like, I think especially with immigrant parents, there's little things that you can almost do to trick them into believing you're like super successful. Like if you're on like a
Just be on
billboard,
TV. Be on
kinda
TV.
sad.
be on TV,
yeah.
do
Gullible
a
they are.
commercial that
Literally,
costs.
be an extra. Go be an extra.
That's it.
Show them the video. Be like, see that guy back there? That's me. And pause it. See? You know what I mean? Like
That's how Cuba Gooding
that's it.
started.
Yeah, right.
He was just in a barber chair.
My
Yeah,
big
no.
star. I was
Exactly.
like, no.
I
They-
did it big, mama.
Not knowing you got paid like $1,200. That was it.
If anything, you tell them you got paid way more than you actually did.
Oh, you have to. You got to inflate it.
I mean, I don't because my mom would be on my ass about everything.
Pay
after
this, pay that.
Pay this, pay that after that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Mom, I'm become clean.
Bro, that's the sickest part is I used to help my family like crazy as an engineer.
And then
And then now
Cut
it's like and then my siblings were younger than me in school. And like right as I was like, fuck that comedy, they graduated and got jobs. And I was like,
Nice.
you know what I mean?
Pass the torch.
It was perfect. It was perfect.
That's amazing. What about you? I've never heard your origin story.
How I started?
Yeah.
Oh man, it was I was doing prison dancer.
Okay.
That freaking
What's that?
Oh,
the
that
web-
video.
the
That
web
sounded like something
comedy.
completely.
Yeah, right. That could be anything.
So it was a web. So I was a prison dancer.
I'm your prison dancer. Do what you
I
want
was
me.
doing private dances in the cells.
It calms the inmates down. Dancing, it really calms them down.
It's with the white gloves, the gospel dancing.
No, I was. It was a online web musical.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like Glee meets Prison Break on on a in a Filipino jail.
Yeah.
And it was basically surrounding the Michael Jackson dancing Filipino inmates. Anyways, Ron Jossel, shout out to Ron Jossel. He was an actor on that show, and someone was like kind of challenged him, like, "Yo, Norm, you should get Norm to do comedy, Ron." Ron was like, "You want to try it?" I was like, "I don't know if I'm that funny." He's like, "Tell me something funny." I was like, I just had that one joke about the
Poo-poo.
racial bobbleheads.
Oh, nice.
And it was more of like a bar conversation that I would always have with people. And then he's like, "Yeah, that's funny. Try it out on stage." Calls Yuck Yucks on the spot. He's like, "All right, you're on
Wow.
Tuesday."
Damn.
I was like,
This is what you're talking about, how you got fast tracked.
"Okay."
You don't hear stories like this nowadays.
This
ever,
is what he
ever.
said though.
I've never
But he
heard
told
this.
me that he had like he got really lucky in comedy that you got like a fast track.
Yeah. What did I call it? Pipe warp.
Like a wormhole.
The comedy pipe what is it? Pipeline.
Tapeworm?
The comedy pipeline. He went through the comedy pipeline
yeah.
and jumped and he skipped steps apparently.
Oh.
Yeah, so Ron got me into, he called Yuck Yucks, got me in on the Tuesday, like coming up. Like it was literally 2 days later. And then, yeah, from that point on, he was like my one of my first vouches.
Nice.
And
It's a good vouch. One
Yeah.
that can call up Yuck Yucks and put you on a lineup. That's
Well,
a great
handle it.
vouch.
it was the open amateur night.
The
on
Tuesdays?
The
Mhm.
Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
after I did that, felt nice.
Do they still do that?
You still do it?
Right before COVID, it stopped.
Oh,
We made it right up to COVID.
Damn it. I would have loved to do that. I've still never done Yuck Yucks.
It's a
Oh,
nice
wait.
stage, you know.
We did Yuck Yucks in Vaughn. I lied. That was
We
the
did.
only-
We did.
That was the only time I did Yuck. And that was an amazing show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I definitely need to go back. Now that I remember the show. Oh, man. That's a nice spot to do comedy.
Real nice.
What is your favorite venues?
My favorite venues. I started doing comedy in Vancouver.
Boo! Sorry.
No, but I made it out there because I was I was traveling already. My lifestyle began with like basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So I was studying and playing ball out there.
I feel like I played you for some reason
Probably
like a
did, yo.
long time ago
Probably
at like
did.
a random court.
I gave you 30 maybe.
Let's not get carried away. Let's calm it down. But yeah, no, I don't know why. The first time I saw you doing comedy, I was like, have I hooped against this nigga? And I did not know you hooped yet.
You know, it's funny. I went to when I opened for Lewin at a show in Guelph. There was a man in the stands after I came off the stage. He goes, "Yo, you played in Windsor?" And I said, "Yeah, like in high school, I played against the school in Windsor." He's like, "Yo, you dropped 30 on me, bro."
I would never admit that to a nigga.
He's been looking for you for his whole life.
And he said, "Yo,
That's him.
He's like, I had to unfollow you, bro, because you were posting mad cool shit with like flying drones and stuff. But then I remember every time this nigga dropped 30 on me, bro.
Oh my
Yo,
god.
this is a guy living in regret, man.
You are a reminder of all of his insecurities. That's crazy.
I'm actually a menace. I show up to ball course like recreationally, and I go in casual attire, like
like Kyrie Irving,
Unassuming.
like a
Unassuming, and I
Pepsi
just-
commercial.
and I just break out.
Prosthetic makeup.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's hilarious. Yeah,
It's like
no.
that's like dudes admitting, like, "Hey, man, you're the reason my wife left me."
right. Like I see that as the same shit. Like why would you ever tell a nigga that? You dropped 30
My life
on me.
is ruined because
My
of you.
girl was there, fam. Like,
I brought it to open gym run. That's a bad mistake niggas make. They bring their girls to open gym runs.
Don't do
And
that.
then-
you can't do that unless that's your gym. Like you go there,
The home
you
gym.
deal with things there. Like that's what you do. If you're bringing it to a random gym, you gotta
It's
know.
unpredictable. You don't know.
You
what's
gotta
gonna
know
happen. You gotta
that
control the setting.
you can't control this right now. Shit can go left. Shit can go left quick.
yeah,
I love piecing up a man who brought his girl.
yeah, because that just boosts morale.
Mans will look,
Bro,
especially
like
if your girl's
hyenas. They'll
sweet.
look like hyenas.
Oh my god! Don't let your girl be
As
sweet.
yeah.
Because niggas will look at the man. They'll make sure to find whoever's mad. Whose girl is that?
Yeah,
That's his?
you? That's you.
Back.
Go.
100%.
I'm gonna emasculate that nigga. I saw.
Niggas start calling like they start playing like real like defense like, outside.
Doubling up in an open gym.
The hips out.
Doubling full court press. Running a trap.
Every excuse to make her.
They
dumb.
make a timeout. They get in a huddle and thing.
Yo. Oh man, yeah, no, you have to have your court. Your court feels like, I don't know, it feels like the barbershop. Like I get the same feeling when I go to a court that I frequent and I know all man's there. You see the regular people. You might be a 1-2 that's like randoms, but you see the same people every time. You get into some arguments, especially that's when you can really start arguing fouls, is when you know niggas.
Yeah, right.
Because I can't argue a foul thoroughly like myself
You
if
get
I don't
shot.
know everybody there. Because
I don't
I'll
know what
get in
this
my
nigga's
bag.
Capable of.
Exactly. But if it's niggas I
be a
know, oh
killer.
my God, I'm complaining every call.
Yeah.
That's why I think basketball and comedy go. That's like crowd work.
Yeah.
They go hand. Basketball and comedy go hand in hand. Once you start fighting for your own cause, that's crowd work right there. You have to read the rules.
I believe in this bit.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with
you
me.
guys, bro. You guys don't get it, fine. Check up. My ball, or you take the ball with you.
Take the mic. All right.
Sorry,
This is
kids.
my mic
That was our
anyways. Fuck
only
y'all.
ball. There won't be a team this year.
Simpsons.
That was
great.
sorry, children. That was our only ball. Yo, did you guys have Gus Macker and Hoop It Up?
What's
Did you guys have
We
those?
had,
We
Was
had
that
Hoop
just
It
in
Up.
London?
Hoop It Up.
You guys had
We
Hoop It
had
Up?
Hoop It Up,
Okay.
yeah.
Smacker.
London, Gus Macker, Hoop It Up were summer like competitions where it's like every year, like in London, which is like a fraction of the violence of Toronto. Hoop It Up and Gus Macker was our definite action of the year.
Gut smacker?
No, a Gus Macker.
Oh,
yeah, sounds like a
The
porno.
Jamaican in me was like, whoa.
Gus Smack.
Gus Macker
The
too.
gut smacker.
We,
What kind of gut? Yeah, no. So gut smacker.
Bro, every year someone would get shot or stabbed or something because people come from Toronto, they would come from Windsor, they would come, all these egos would come
Wow.
and ball, and someone was gonna get shot.
We
or
had something
stabbed.
like that, but it was a little bit more. We had battlegrounds. This thing called
rap?
battlegrounds. So it was like a caged fence, caged half court,
That's not a good sign.
caged half court with one net, and it's just 1v1. And it would be
Oh, shit.
basically be a tournament till the end to see who's the king of the court. And then they'd crown king of the dot for the battlegrounds, and there was one guy, I remember he won like 3 years in a row, and I'm just like, yo, you get to say you're the best baller in the city 3 years in a row, like.
And one mixtape shit right
Yeah,
there.
no, it was definitely around those times
Hot
too.
sauce and
And it's around, I think it was the same place they had the 3-on-3 hoop it up tournaments, you know, like. It was like Ontario Place or some shit like that. They had like this big open parking lot with like
London
mad
London
hoops.
had a chapter of it.
Yeah. And it was dope, man. It was dope.
Nah, in the city they had like, at least when I was playing in high school, they had like citywide tournaments. So basically like every community center, which was essentially every single block, had their own team.
Yep.
So bro, the gyms would get rowdy. Like
Yep. I
I
remember those times.
Very territorial.
I was on this team called Blitz.
That's funny for no reason. You know what I mean?
There's a team called Blitz. Dog, this team called Blitz, bro, is the most unorganized shit in the world. It was just a team. There's no sign up. Any man that showed up and had the shorts, you're in. If you had the blue and yellow shorts, you're in. It didn't. There are mans that would show up that were 27 years old, but played years ago and had the shorts and would just show up.
Oh, that's so funny.
And we're
It's
playing
having
like 14-year-olds, dog.
you get an old wristband to Wonderland from last year. You're trying to use it the next year.
Yo, dog, it was crazy,
so
man.
funny.
There's no like set coach, but we had a set gym and set times for practices, and you just show up and just scrimmage. There was no
Player coaches.
plays,
no
Everyone's there,
suicides, no drills, no plays, no nothing.
No structure.
Niggas
guys
were
weren't very
freestyling.
good. So you guys weren't very good.
We were amazing.
Oh, wow.
We had Andrew Wiggins on the team.
Oh,
we had
cheat
Mitch
code.
Wiggins. We had Nick Wiggins. We had
Yo, who's the Wiggins family? This is
the Wiggins
like the
family.
Wayans of
they all
basketball?
lived up. They all lived up in Vaughan, and their dad played for the Bulls and the Rockets and shit. And so we all knew there was like a basketball family now. And the oldest one, Mitchell, he was like a high flyer at that time. So everybody knew him for being able to dunk. And then Nick was my age, and he was like the newest, sickest baller in the city. He ended up going to Wichita State and played some NBA ball. I think he's in Europe now. And then obviously Andrew would be like shooting at halftime when we had games. Like he'd be this little kid just shooting around.
And then you wash him, bro. Andrew Wiggins dunked on me, bro.
You
that's
told
not
him at a
even-
show
That's not
afterwards?
even something for Maz
dunked on me, bro.
Wallahi,
That guy's a flyer, bro.
I went to like I went to this like Team Canada tryout.
Hate those.
And on hate
Hate those. I fucking hate those.
But you know what the coaches do? Especially in trials, they just want to weed out the weak. They do that 2-on, 3-on-1,
Yep.
3-on-2,
Two on
2-on-1.
one. Yep.
Bro, literally, I touched the baseline. I realized, bro, I run and I'm outside, bro. I'm seeing this nigga flying.
Boom. Because Mads will set you up on the oop for that. If you're 2-on-1, if you're end up with the one not getting the ball and you got to run back now, there's already one man that decided I'm not even going to touch the ball. My bedroom's going to get it. I'm just going to get the oop. And they'll lob it over you. I hated those tryouts. Fucking grassroots, Team Canada, all those shits. I hated them. So much politics.
I found out I wasn't gonna make the team in like the first 15 minutes.
First 10 seconds, I
Man
was.
boomed it on me. I was like, jeez.
First 10 seconds, I walked in the gym. I seen who was in there, and I was like,
Are they all
it's
just
over.
like 6'8" right away? You're like,
It's not even that. It's not even that because that was never an issue. It's always the names in the gym because you knew like back in the day is Hoop Town. Imagine you check
GTA?
Hoop Town, see 25 Point Club and see who is in it. And then you go to the practice. All right, Mike Serba's over there. Fucking Al Wayne's here. You know the names. Like those mans that you just know are from everywhere.
Any man with the last name Kabongo.
Oh, come on. The Kabongo families are guaranteed in. So it's like when you get there and you just see them there, I'm like, these guys are just here for practice. This isn't a tryout for
These are
them.
bodies.
Damn.
I
These
wish I
guys
knew
don't
you
even
were-
try.
I wish I knew what you guys were talking about. Like, just even the act of hating a basketball tryout. You're good enough to even go to that.
Everybody's good enough to go.
I'm not. I'm just trying to catch up with these. And then you hit him with the left, right?
Yeah, baseline. Yeah, baseline.
Yeah, I've been there, nigga. I've been there.
Oh my goodness.
The thing is that Filipinos, their ball career ends at like grade 7.
And then
grade 8.
reignites at age like 19. They have their own league and
That
shit.
PBA life.
They got the racist league. They got one black per team.
Import.
Which, by the
That's my
way,
import player, huh?
which by the way,
Oh,
this nigga here,
this nigga.
here, the
here.
audacity
This
to
nigga.
create an Eglinton West team and not invite the mandem.
I didn't create it.
I've never felt more black. With this exclusion.
You know what? I didn't even know. Like Ajuki's on my team too.
Yes.
Like
This is very racist.
I put in my money 2 years ago
2 years ago.
because it happened at
COVID?
the top of COVID,
Ah.
and we never got to play.
Oh
and
wait, there's your boys
This is a
center
five-
that you told me about
little
years
5-7
ago.
basketball
Wow.
league.
Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
This is when we were recording in that little place with the
attic.
upstairs with the attic.
Oh my god.
Yeah, back
That
then.
the original Key Radio top attic. Jeez. Had us recording like Anne Frank up in that bitch.
No, dead ass. There wasn't shit in there but a chair
And a diary. Fuck.
and a diary.
Yo, who wants to write their entry?
It wasn't even a diary, it was Post-it notes and a pencil. That shit was crazy.
We played last week, first game.
How did it go?
Okay.
Caught the dub.
Jeez.
You know what I'm saying? You all know how we do. Caught 8 points. Felt nice. Yeah. I don't.
You carried the team then.
I never
You
scored.
had 8 points.
Yeah, there was. We got. It was.
What was the score?
It was 16-14.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 8-2 or some shit. It's like you scored all the points.
Oh man,
That's sick,
I
though.
never score, so to finally score felt great. Oh man, and I've
What was
seen
your first
you guys.
bucket? What was your first bucket? Was that a layup, a three?
Dirk leg?
Layup, free throw?
No, it was just
Jelly off
it
the
was
left?
It was just a mid-range jump shot.
Oh,
That's my
It's your
It's my go-to.
This guy's DeMar.
a straight DeMar DeRozan.
Have you guys been watching the NBA?
Rip Hamilton?
Yeah.
Oh come on! Oh yeah! Oh, good old basketball,
Fucking
man.
basketball. I love
Watching
it
the
back.
highlights.
I missed it for background noise. You know those ones? It's like sometimes I just like basketball on around me because I don't like other shit I can get too invested in and like be distracted. You know what I mean? Basketball's just like it's there. Check the score every once in a while. It's nice. It's nice.
and I'm happy the bubble stuff is done.
Yeah.
You missed the bubble?
I kind of missed the bubble still. I'm not gonna lie to you. Bubble ball was crazy.
Wait,
That's not
why?
front. Those 3-4 months that we had in the bubble was some good basketball.
The no fans makes it better, or what is it? What was it?
I think it
some-
makes the play better because you're focused almost entirely on the game. And for role players and a lot of younger players who have troubles playing in front of big
Yeah,
audiences,
yeah.
that could
They got the best out of
it could
them.
tunnel zone you. Like there's too many third string guys that just had incredible bubble moments. Like
Oh, yeah?
what was that guy's name
Tyler
on
Hero. I think Tyler Hero. Yeah, Tyler
well,
Hero.
he's coming back now with that bubble play, but yeah, he's definitely
That bubble play.
he's top 3 in bubble antics. In bubble
Yeah,
antics
he
is
caught a
him.
bubble still.
There's that nigga they were calling MJ
Oh,
on the
man.
Pacers.
Yeah.
Remember he was
Yeah,
killing
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, I can't remember. It's this boring guy with braids, and nobody talks about him anymore. But in the
He had his
in the
bubble moment, though?
In the bubble, the
That was the
man,
name.
the
Bubble,
antics
yeah.
are up. The antics are up. He's dropping like 40 a game.
He was the Jeremy Lin of the bubble.
Dead ass. Dead ass. That was definitely his moment. And yeah, no, there's something about bubble ball, like the intensity that I miss, but I really do miss. I did miss the fans, and I'm not a player, which is weird. But I miss what the fans provide to the game because, like, when Chicago went on that run last night. Nuts.
It
I
was.
love hearing a crowd get silenced.
Son.
A crowd that was up 20 get silenced.
And the Celtics too, because that's our Boston is just rowdy.
Oh, and when niggas do it to them, when niggas do it to Boston, it hits a little different, man. I don't know, man. Like DeMar DeRozan just snapped. Final quarter, these guys scored 37 points. Boston scored 9. Boston going into the
And they had
quarter
a
was
huge
up
lead.
15.
Yeah.
Damn, and they lost it.
They lost
At
by
home.
15.
At home?
At home.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
all those games
So
go.
good.
Never
I lo-
seen some shit like that.
Bulls are so good right now,
Bro.
Yo, they're so
I
nice.
just realized how much
Yeah.
high flyers they have on that team, bro.
Yo.
You got DeMar, you got Zach, you got
Caruso.
Derek Jackson, you got Caruso's a high flyer, you got Lonzo's a high flyer. These guys are athletic, they're young, they're vibrant. DeMar is looking. I think this is the situation DeMar needed. He can't be. I don't think he can be the main guy. He's got that. He's got something like a Siakam factor where it's like he has to be adjacent to the main guy to really get his looks.
Main
to-
adjacent.
Huh?
Main adjacent.
Main
He has to be-
adjacent.
yeah,
Exactly.
second in command. kind of
Second
thing.
in command for sure. Because if there's less pressure on him,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we know DeMar is a very mental player. Like He's had mental health issues surrounding the game, and if he can be in a space where he doesn't have to think about any of that shit, you're seeing it right now.
Yeah.
Dropping 37 last night. He's been cruising this season. He's nice.
He's a good Manolo, for sure.
Manolo.
It's a Scarface. Scarface's side game.
Oh, wow.
DeRozan-
That's a good deep cut.
DeRozan Marks, when I moved to the city, he was like the guy, and then he choked hard, and then
A couple years.
and then when I arrived, he was like the final.
was the
Like
final
big one,
hurrah?
where he was still on I forget which billboard it was on Lakeshore, and I knew everybody hated the guy.
Oh,
And
man.
he's on that Pepsi billboard.
I've been seeing
People just
Kyle
driving
Lowry
by.
ones, and it's a completely
The
different
Adidas
feeling.
one, right?
Yeah, but it's a completely different feeling. I see it, and I want to be mad at him for leaving, but I'm just like, nah.
He put his time,
You did
though,
your
right?
shit,
Yeah.
man. You did your shit.
You did it, man.
And they got a
And-
paragraph next to his.
Oh yeah, he deserves it, man. Like that guy. If there's anybody that I think deserves a statue, it's Kyle Lowry. Like he's put in so much, and there's so many times he could have left that he didn't. They traded his best friend, and he could have said "fuck y'all," and they didn't tell him anything. He was mad at management. I think he didn't talk to Masai for months or some shit like that. And then he still stuck around and still played his heart out.
Yeah, that statue's gonna have a fat ass, yo.
That's what everybody keeps saying. Everybody's just walking.
Short and thick.
People want-
Niggas gonna be like, yo, let's just give it a.
I seen a man say that they should replace the rock with, you know that rock that they touched before the game?
Oh, it's gonna be Kyle's
Put
booty.
Kyle's ass.
Oh my god.
Kyle's bundle, yo.
The bunda.
Give me the strength.
The strength in Kyle's cheeks. What was your origin story?
Like for comedy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved out to Vancouver and I was just well, first off, I went to the University of Waterloo for my first year. And then I was telling Abbas earlier, I was homeless there for like 3 months, but not on like some like.
Like on that classy
Not
shit.
singing.
I did it with class, man.
Okay, you weren't yodeling in a Walmart.
No,
Okay,
man,
good.
I was I had like 8 different lockers, and I
Okay.
That's the move.
Wow.
yeah,
And I slept
had,
in
like,
them all.
Were you just couch
Rotate
surfing
them.
in different people's dorms?
No, because they had the MC building. Right?
They got this
Like,
big ass building that's like open 24/7 for motherfuckers to study and whatever.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I just every night I put 2 couches together.
See?
And then and he's like, wow, that is a devoted student. You know what I mean?
nigga, I was-
That guy has been studying into the late
Day and
night.
night. It's going to be the greatest engineer this world's ever seen.
So what? They hit you with a scholarship or something for ball, and then you just went? Or
Nah, I was there, and then I fractured my ankle my first year. So I was just like I was bumming it.
My story.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened to me in college.
Someone gave you that Kobe treatment or what?
No Kobe treatment bro, at all. I was just bumming it, yo. So I was
I
like,
just slipped.
huh?
you
Oh
just-
no, I rolled my ankle.
Oh
I
shit.
just rolled my ankle bad, but it was a hairline fracture. And
Oh.
just, a hairline fracture is sometimes worse than a break.
Yeah.
That's me. I
Right?
still feel it. I still feel it on this ankle. Like
How'd
if
you-
I play too long, it'll get sore easily.
How'd yours go down?
Mine was first practice. It was they already had, you know how they have the varsity teams set, like they for especially for college, they already asked guys to come and all this other shit, but they usually leave 1 or 2 spots open for a walk on.
Yeah.
And so they had the tryouts. There's like 150 mans there, and friggin', I don't know what. It was one of those days you're just in your bag. There's no explanation for it. I was feeling extra bouncy, so like the layup drills, I'm dunking all of them, and I'm just like, yo, what's going on with me today? Playing nice, making good reads, all this shit. Man's like, man asked me to stay after the tryout, and 3 other people, and then made us play 2v2. And it was like for the spots, like it was 2 spots, and it's like, all right, let me see what 2 are gonna make it. And me and my boy won the game. They put us in like the little Humber paper. I'm feeling myself. I'm like, yeah, I'm out of here. I told these niggas. First practice, I go to. I'm feeling myself heavy. Go through the first drill, and it's a rebounding drill. So they put you up against 2 centers, and you're like the only guard, and you got to grab the rebound over the centers. And so I boxed one out, or at least I thought. And the other one, I guess, when we all went up for the rebound, those 2 collided with each other, and the dude, he went sideways and landed on my like knee area. And when I came down, he was still on it. And this guy's like 230, 240, and just all on my ankle. The whole thing. And it just, I just screamed. It was over. It's literally 2 minutes into practice. Never seen a game. Never even got the jersey. Never got a varsity jacket.
Did you hop off, or did they get you a
Hop off, nigga. I was screaming bloody murder. I never felt I thought I was gonna pass out. I never felt pain like that in my life. It felt like it was shooting up the side of my leg to like my whole body.
Fuck.
It was insane. And then like it just got numb. I don't know if I was in shock or some shit. And they brought me to like the nurse's office and they gave me these crutches. It's the last crutches they have because they've got a bunch of injuries on different teams. It's these 2 wooden crutches. And I don't know shit about crutches. Never been hurt, never anything. 2 wooden crutches, okay? Thin.
Old ass crutch.
Thin. Like, it's not even like there's bare space to put my hand for real, right? It's like just barely makes it. 2 wooden crutches, thin, no rubber at the bottom. I'm not
just
thinking
wood?
anything of it. I
Just
thought
wood?
this is just how it works. So I'm walking out. It's the dead of winter.
Yeah.
Like this, I'm talking December. It's cold, ice, everything. For 3 months, I slid around. I swear to God, people had to help me at bus stops. The worst 3 months of my life. The worst 3 months of my life. I never felt so feeble and just lame in my life, bro. I'm fucking trying to walk and just, that's my life for 3 months.
Fuck.
No matter where I went. No matter how careful you think you're being too, you put it down in one spot and just fucking.
Because you know you don't want to fall for sure,
Oh
right?
God! And then when you fall on your ankle, it's like okay, just added 2 weeks.
Fuck.
It was bad. It was the worst 3 months of my life. I hated it. I hated everything. I hated everyone. I couldn't play ball for the first time in my life. Literally, it was just worst. It was the worst. It was bad.
But hold on, that's how you ended up starting comedy?
No, so after that, I was doing crowd work to get food, kind of.
That's hilarious.
Yo, put that on a
That's
fucking
Chappelle
card. Put that on a card.
Because I would like.
This reminds me of Hans Kim on Kill Tony.
I was doing crowd work to get food. I'd make friends in like different faculties, and I'd crash events. So I'd be one. I knew on like Wednesdays, every Wednesday, like the theology faculty would come together, and I'd just go up there and I'd just talk about like religion and stuff. But I knew they ordered pizza.
This guy's sick.
That's so baller.
You are sick.
Shout out to the girls at the Waterloo MSA, man. The biryani was fire, yo. They used to take good care of me there.
Oh my God.
I told him he was their like fucking religious project. You know what I mean?
That
Like
is so funny.
they're like, we're gonna nurse this motherfucker back to health, and we're gonna get heaven. We're gonna guaranteed heaven for these efforts.
This is our good deed.
We're cooking for God.
And so I was basically doing like
so
meeting with strangers, getting at
That's
different events. Like even at
hilarious.
the engineering program at Waterloo, they have like the pinky ring or whatever. I saw one of my boys be like, yo.
That is catered.
Yeah.
That is catered. Yeah.
One of my boys, he said, yo. I asked him, I said,
That's
yo,
the
let me borrow
move,
your
bro.
ring, fam. I took his ring, and niggas are asking me like, yo, what kind of engineering are you in, fam? I said, yeah, man, you know.
Which no one answers like that. You know what it is, nigga. You know we out here building shit.
vibes.
Yo, well, yeah. It make no difference, bro.
I was just
Yo,
like,
we all here, yo.
you know, man, what are those samosas? Let me get that, man.
That's so funny.
funny.
For 3 months, you were on campus, and your specialty was knowing where food was being served.
At what club?
What, every single
social gathering had food catered.
Niggas at the Peace Corps club.
Yeah,
Anti-Semitics club. Like this guy's
yeah.
everywhere.
He's changing his hat. He's shaving his head.
people run into me on campus like, what?
Yeah.
That's so
And then
funny.
after that, when I moved to Vancouver, I think back in like when I was a teenager, I knew I wanted to do stand-up comedy just because like those long car rides when you're doing AU trips or whatever.
And you're busting jokes for hours.
Hours in the car, bro. You're just
Tell
telling
me about
stories. And like literally sometimes before even the ride, I'm thinking about shit, what am I gonna say today?
That's sick, bro.
That's amazing.
That's so
How am I
jokes.
going to entertain my friends
Yeah.
today?
They heard this already. Fuck.
Yeah.
They heard
They
this
know
one.
this one.
Yeah.
I got to get new shit.
100%.
You're like, I'm gonna
so
go in on these niggas, right? They heard this story, but I'm gonna go in on them.
I just exercise my creativity.
I'm going to start work crowd work. I'm gonna work the bus, and then
Exactly.
That's
And then
so
when
funny.
I got into once I finally tried it out in Vancouver, I was like, I did an open mic. I was working at Foot Locker at one point, and then my boy signed me up, and I went and I killed it. For my first like 5 minutes, I killed it, and I was like, yo, it's easy, but I didn't really have much to talk about. I found, so I was like,
Do you remember what you said?
oh man, I think I was talking shit about like I was talking about being jumped by a Siberian husky in the woods, but thinking it was a wolf at first glance, and I almost gave because the owner kept it off the leash, and I thought that shit was illegal, you know? So I'm coming,
got a wolf.
so I'm coming down the trail, and I'm seeing this Siberian husky looks like a wolf. But I wind up to give this guy's dog the craziest corner kick ever. I completely missed. But then I start paging the guy, and it scared me because he had like a googly eye. Like imagine you meet like a Caucasian dude
In the woods.
in the woods,
with a googly eye.
Yeah, no, that's a bad
That for sure is
combination.
racist for some reason.
Googly eye, missing teeth, either or. I'm out of there.
Yeah, right.
That's a crazy combo. Wolf and googly eye.
Yeah, and so I was like, I remember I was just riffing about that, and just white people were eating that shit up. And so, and they were like, "Wow, he's in the woods."
Googly eyes.
I haven't heard that word in a while. It's
That's
just
so
like,
funny.
And so, and I thought I could do like this, like I don't know. When I first did comedy, I just went off the dome, and so I thought like, oh man, I could just do that shit again. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about today,
And then it happened.
and then I bombed. Yo.
Yep.
But that wasn't even the worst time I've ever bombed. The worst I've ever bombed was in the UK. I was
Yo,
telling you about
you
this.
told me about this story,
I
yeah.
bombed in the UK. One of my boys got me on a show.
We just this whole show just got flagged right now. Yeah, I bombed in the UK. That beard is too nice to say some shit like that, bro.
So we don't have the capacity.
You're waiting. 42 minutes. He made it. 42 minutes.
Yeah, man. I did this show in the UK where I was this guy gave me a spot on this like Caribbean night thing. And there was at least like 80 Jamaicans all over the age of like 40, but these are like UK British
Old Jamaicans, yeah.
So like 35 seconds or 35 45 seconds into my set, I say the N-word, and just like all of them kiss their teeth at the same time. Just
It's a room full of.
and I was like, one guy's just yelling. He's like, "Yo, we don't use word like nigga. Them thing that like oppression and like he was just going. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
the knowledge nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He was giving.
Did he
it
have
to me.
dreadlocks?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It was black. The light was in my face, but I felt the energy.
My brother.
I does not use the word nigga. We are kings.
Read this.
And I was just like, oh, so I tried going through my joke, continuing through it,
guy
but they
powered
weren't
through
having it. And so I was like, do you guys want me to go out? I'm like, you guys want me to leave the stage? And he was like, yeah, man.
Yeah, leave, man. Go on, please.
Yeah,
Do.
man, go on.
Yeah, man, please do.
Go away.
That's the last thing you want to hear.
And the guy that gave you the spot, did you pass him on your way up the stage? What did he say?
Bro, honestly,
They were nice to you, no?
they loved me afterwards. They were like, I was like a sacrificial lamb. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Jamaicans, like, I find can be the easiest and the most difficult people to make laugh,
I
all
felt like
depending on the situation.
I felt like the way they came to me after was as if I headlined that night, bro. Like I was just like,
yo, they can
That's
appreciate
so
it
funny.
if
Like,
they don't
respect.
like something that you did. They might not give you the satisfaction of knowing that they think you're funny until, like you said, when you're done.
They will destroy and then rebuild.
Yeah,
For sure.
for sure. And especially if there's a Jamaican like lady there, especially an older woman, she'll like notice
that
that you're
feeling.
probably like you had a rough night or whatever, and will come to you and be like, "You all right? Yeah, man, you just need to. You'll get them next time. You're funny. Don't worry about nothing." And just give you like the greatest fucking words of affirmation. I don't know how they do that shit. It's
Yeah.
amazing though.
I was gonna say, man, your Jamaican shit's on point. I forgot you were just like the most Jamaican.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you're that. You're that.
That's what you do.
Damn, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, you do a good Bob Marley.
Yeah, at the kid, I try with that. Like my father is Jamaican, and so like I remember when I grew up around East Africans only,
Oh, okay.
majority, and so
I grew up on Albion.
Nah,
Armel Court.
no, but the pharmacy and that for baby.
Okay.
And so I think like the in high school is where I started like chilling with Mandem, and they were just like, "Yo, Phil's you're Jamaican, bro. You should be trying like your patois, bro."
Man said that to you?
Yeah, like
That's so weird.
Yeah, because I was just chilling with niggas, bro. And so I remember there was a fight happening at Kennedy Station.
As usual.
Okay. But it was like against like it was the girls from Cedarbrae Public School against like these girls from like
Springdale.
Mother Teresa, I don't know, some shit from some other Catholic
MT
school.
shit.
Yeah. And so it was all going down at Kennedy Station. And we were waiting like 45 minutes for this fight to go down. and
I love pre-organized high school
bro.
fights.
You've never seen. It's like a fire drill. You've never seen.
people are like waiting for the
They're checking their clock. They have a watch now. They never had a watch. Where the fuck are they?
You gotta catch that. If the fight breaks out, you want to be on time to catch that 43
2 minutes.
bus that leaves, you know?
Word.
And so the fight, it's about to break down, and this girl, like from some white girl from whatever Catholic school it was, she goes, and this is when I was just like really, I was very shy about trying to like a patois. And this white girl comes out of nowhere and she goes, "Yo, we've been waiting here for 2 hours. What's going?" And like bus station stopped, silent. Everyone's.
What year was this?
This was like 2010, bro. Niggas were like, you hear one, like there's one man who's just laughing like.
When she said what's going on,
Did she say it like weird?
With like this though, it was like, "What's going on?"
Oh,
and it was just like,
yeah.
it's a guana.
It's guanan.
What's
You can't fucking Valley Girl patois.
yeah, iguana.
Guanan.
Drake did it.
he said,
Drake pulled it up pretty
Degrassi
good.
had it for sure.
Maybe that's why it worked.
Remember?
That's why I went with Universal.
What's guana?
Put a little
So, hold
Beverly
on.
Hills in it.
So what did you do? You didn't end up using your.
"Dog, my shit's
You end up using your.
Let's hear it.
patois after
Let's
that?
hear
my
it.
patois."
Let's hear something. Let's give us a sentence. Give him a sentence to say.
Yeah, give me a sentence.
Let's
Why are
say-
you looking at Triz?
Oh, me? Oh.
Look at intern.
He doesn't work here.
I went to the corner store.
That's complex. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
to you.
that was.
I'm joking. That's not complex.
You say it first. Let me get the rubric. Give me the.
Yeah,
No, I'm not giving you a reference
Give me-
point.
give me the rubric.
I'm not
I'm gonna
giving you a
retrace this
reference
shit.
point.
Yeah.
I don't want to give you a reference point. Huh?
We went to the counter store.
That's to me. That's close.
He sounds like Leonardo DiCaprio in Blood
Well,
Diamond.
do it. What would it be?
Ghana store, man.
Oh yeah. You wouldn't say me when.
Ghana Road.
Ghana store, yeah.
Ghana Road.
Yeah,
See,
Ghana
bro.
store.
Beat, bro. See my.
Damn, man. That's
Ghana
like
store. I'm buying.
what?
Bro,
Add whatever you want to buy.
I used to talk to my dad on the phone. You know when you're a kid and you're on the phone and I don't understand a word that he's saying to me, so I just pass the phone over to my. I say, "Okay, mom wants to talk to you now." And bro,
child.
Yo,
Especially when they start using like Jamaican terms.
Please tell me about please tell these guys a story about your dad running you a letter and his dad wrote him a letter and it was written in patois.
No way.
when I was so when I was just learning how to read and write,
So we don't have the capacity.
so when I was learning how to read and write, my dad, who was in prison, incarcerated, decided to write me a letter, but he wrote it in patois.
Yeah.
This is too perfect, by the way.
And he was in jail.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And so like even my mom is putting pressure on me to be knowing how to read stuff as well, because
man.
To translate.
Yeah, because we get bills, and my mom's like, "Read this in
Read
Canadian
this.
now," right?
Yeah.
And so for at least a month, I was trying to decipher what this nigga was saying to me. Bro, he was speaking in patois, hieroglyphics, and abbreviations via MSN.
He had that one nigga like
Wingdings.
this.
I was so confused. And it was never, it wasn't even lined paper. So like line,
Oh God.
Shit wasn't parallel.
Where does it start? Where does it end?
Yeah, I didn't do my homework, and I brought my teacher this letter that my dad gave me, and she's like, "Yeah, I can't even help you with this, bro."
Oh my.
Your teacher couldn't to translate it for you.
My teacher couldn't translate.
Man, prison is rough. They don't even let you have lined paper. It's like, no lines for you convict. Like, shit, can I get paper?
We don't
Fuck.
want them to read between the lines here.
But I
They
knew
could
what he
write.
meant though. When he put LUV for love,
At the
That's
end,
my man.
Yeah.
That's my
like
man.
that's my name with love. Yeah.
Nah, but the thing is that he didn't write my name properly. You know, it's crazy because like
There was no H. There's a Wagwan Hassan.
Hassan.
Wagwan Hassan. It sounds like he's saying "What's
Hassan.
good, son," but he's actually saying Hassan.
So we don't have the capacity.
my parents were very spiritual, bro. My name was for the first like 5 years of my life. My name was Handsome.
Okay,
Yeah,
that works.
and then they changed it
Legally they changed.
Legally.
No way.
on my birth certificate.
Damn.
Handsome.
Do you know what made them do it besides the obvious?
They thought my mom thought I was handsome, fam.
Yeah, but what happened?
The confidence just went down.
Yeah.
Why did they change it?
Those
from-
babies'
No, I mean,
teeth start
they
to
changed
go.
it because
Like,
in
shit.
elementary school, the kids were just annoying me. Handsome, you're very handsome. So then my mom switched it to Hassan, which means the same thing in Arabic. And I speak Arabic.
Smart.
Well,
Yeah, that is.
That's
And it's a nice
smart.
name. In
That's
Arabic,
quick
too.
thinking right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. She's like,
It's so easily transferable,
But that is such an awesome name, Handsome Phils. Like
right?
that's one of those things that's like,
starring Handsome Phils.
it's annoying for
it sounds like a
years,
stage name.
and then it comes back, you know? It's like your high school, grade school, it's like handsome. And then college just starts like, it's helping you out. Then
it's
you're an
handsome.
adult. You're like, yeah, no, it's actually handsome. You know what I mean?
I was in Scarborough though. Niggas weren't gonna call me the
Facts.
They just call you H, AOH.
Ew, people just call me Phils though, or they say my whole name for some reason. Hassan Phils is a ring.
Oh,
Me too.
The name is,
Yeah?
yeah, it's a
My
good
whole
name.
life, like, I don't know why
Hassan
people say
Phils.
my first and last name. I don't get that. I always wanted a nickname growing up.
Dude, there's names that have that ring when they go together.
I don't think mine's that. Marlon Palmer. That's
Yeah,
not,
bro. It sounds like a great drink, bro. You know what I mean? Doesn't that sound like the most refreshing drink you've ever heard? Yo, give me a Marlon
Give me a
Palmer.
Marlon Palmer.
There's the Arnie Palmer. Yeah, the Arnold
The Arnold
Palmer.
Palmer. Marlon sounds way
Marlon
better.
Palmer.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
The Arnold Palmer?
Yeah,
Fuck that.
instead
Marlon
of
Palmer.
iced
My name
tea
was
and
almost
lemonade,
Theodore.
It's iced tea and tea.
Oh,
Almost
shit.
Theodore.
Yeah, my mom wanted to name me Theodore. My dad was like, "No, fuck that."
Theodore.
Theodore.
That's very
I could have been
Jamaican.
Theo. I like Theo.
Theo's pretty cool.
Theo's kind of a vibe, but yeah, no, I'm happy.
Could have been on something, yo.
Yeah, Ansam.
Ansem.
Ansam Palmer.
So what's the Toronto scene like right now in terms of comedy? Like, can you make it out of Toronto doing stand up?
I mean, I wouldn't even want to make it out. I want to make it in
Okay.
Toronto. Like, just there's a lot of people that are there's a niche crowd that isn't being serviced. I find.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of young people who think they love or like know that they love comedy, but have never seen it live. They've seen the productions, they've
Yeah.
seen the crazy, they've seen like the Netflix specials,
Yeah.
but they've never attended a thing where they put their phones away and pay attention to something live, and I think that's very authentic.
I think because we're first generation, like we're starting to see that become a little bit more normalized bit by bit. It's gonna take like 2 or 3 generations, I think, before it's like a staple. Like in the UK, for example, in the black community especially, like comedy's just a thing now too. You know what I mean? Like Mo's over there right now,
Gillian.
killing it. Shout out to him. He's doing his tour. He's done his tour tons of times just in England itself. And so there's definitely an audience. There's always an audience for funny, I feel like. You know what I mean? And
It's sustainable, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, definitely. And you said a great point, like you want to make it in. And I think it's very rare for a city to say that in terms of comedy, because you'd think that a city this large would be like one of the spearheads in that. But even in the scene, I notice it doesn't seem too large in terms of the comedian. Like I see the same comedians many of the places I go with very little few changes in between. And I don't know if that's a lack of talent, like people coming into stand-up comedy. I know obviously stand-up's one of those things that like, it's not like working at Aldo or something. Like you can't just go into it and be like, yeah, I can work at this and I'll be good. Like stand-up takes a little bit more time than selling shoes. You know what I mean? And for some people, it's, especially in this day and age where there's so many options available to you, it's less likely that people are going to stick with it, even if they start. I know many comedians that are like, yeah, 5 years on and off. And it's like scattered 1 year here, a couple months here. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's the normal. It's like such a normal thing for every comedian. Like their first 5 years, it's always like,
in and out.
Then after that, you hit that 5th year hump, and you're just like, okay,
Hit your stride.
it's either I'm gonna do this for real, and actually say this is what I do, or it's just gonna be a hobby.
A hobby, yeah.
Yeah.
This is my, poker night with the boys, with the buds.
Texas seems to be the new hot spot
Texas is
for comedy. Like all the majors are basically moving there and creating a scene. I watched a show called Kill Tony, which is a podcast, Tony Hitchcliffe, and it's 1 minute for amateur comedians to go up and do their shit. And 90% of them are bad, but it's a win-win. If they go up there and they kill it, you got a great show for a minute. If they go up there and they're shit, Tony just tears them apart for the next 10.
And he goes hard.
Oh yeah.
He's like a roast master.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's good that I like it because it's comedians and you can tell which ones can take a joke from which ones can't. And it kind of filters them out that way. Because there's some of them up there that take it so seriously. Even though they've seen the show.
Yeah.
You know what the show's about, and yet you're going to go to it and complain about it.
To touch on what you were saying earlier about like the circuit as well, like the circuit of comedians, I think it's really good. Like the better the comedians get, and the more they stay in tune with it, or like and like refine their skills, and also like. Like you have to have that stamina for it.
Yeah,
it's like different than school. When I decided this is something I was going to do, it was no different than when I decided to do school. But when I did school, I was like half-assed. Because you think about it like this, man. You dedicate 5 years of your life to something that you could do for the next 30, 40 years. Then you should be then you could be comfortable with yours. You could be happy with that decision. But a lot of people go to school 4 years of their life, and then after they're unhappy with whatever they're doing. Yeah. Right? So it's the same thing with comedy, I find. If I could do that, then boom.
The only thing about comedy I find, which would be a deterrent to most people, is there's a proven pipeline in Toronto that like you can say, this person came out of it. This person came out of it. You know what I mean? Like, especially in comedy, majority of people definitely do have to leave. We had a boom in the 90s, early 90s, late 80s, I would say, for comedy in the city. When you're talking SCTV and all the talent that came from there, Second City, like that was killer. You got all the Chase and all these different guys, Dan Aykroyd and shit. But then after that, it's like it's like they left and left a void. They took everybody with them. Like Michael Myers was gone, Dan Aykroyd, you name it, they were gone. Jim Carrey. Imagine Jim Carrey, Dan Aykroyd, Mike Myers, a lot of these guys stay in the city. The scene they'd be like Bill Burr and shit out here right now. You know what I mean? Obviously, they took different routes for different reasons, and they're superstars and legends now. But I feel like there was definitely a void left in this city and an opportunity for Montreal to rise from the ashes and just take over, because Montreal seems to be a major player. Like, it's like TIFF. TIFF is now a major player in terms of film festivals, whereas when it was first starting out, we didn't get the big stars. You'd get the short indie films, but you wouldn't get fucking Angelina Jolie showing up. Everybody comes here now. So it's a circuit that they have to go to, just like Cannes, just like any of these film festivals. And Montreal has worked themselves into that in terms of comedy. Like, when I hear comedians talk about
But only because JFL, not really because of Montreal, but because JFL.
Exactly that.
JFL could be anywhere and it would be that thing. But no one's like, yo, I'm headlining Montreal, like it's the best thing. It's all about like JFL for the most part.
Yeah.
But I think that...
why is it in Montreal then? That's always
It just
been my
started off.
thing.
I mean, it's like
I think it's
it seems
tax
like
breaks.
the French, yeah, and the French have a more of an appetite to support art. That's why, like a lot of these French comedians can have a whole career off of just the touring they do in Quebec.
So you feel like they do a lot
paid.
better.
It's known. It's known. There's a lot
Okay.
of English comedians who are just like you see them doing sets in fucked up French because they're trying to get a set in French so they
Wow.
can get into the circuit and
Wow.
eat. But like I think that
Why is this? So it's that lucrative just a province over.
yes,
Yeah,
but in
you
French.
you could really
In
make
French.
a lot of money as just a francophone comic in Canada, touring just Canada alone, the province alone, and these because they really don't have any. You remember Sugar Sammy?
No.
He was like the young.
He's like a celebrity in Europe now.
Yeah, he's like the younger version of Russell Peters.
But sweeter.
He was, but sweeter man.
Well, yeah, by default.
But he was like Canada's Hassan Minaj or something like that. But more good looking, spoke French. He doesn't even do English comedy anymore. Like he just stays strictly French
Okay, but are
comedy.
they doing bigger shows out there,
Oh,
or are people paying more? What is?
Both.
Okay, so it's bigger shows and people are paying more.
Yeah.
And in terms of bigger shows, are these guys with social media presence? Or is
They
it just-
have, but it's like the average event over there is more likely to have stand-up comedy featured in it. Like, let's say you go to a wedding here, 1 in 10 weddings has stand-up.
Okay,
More have stand-up there. Let's say you go to a graduation, more have
So it's
stand-up.
more ingrained in culture.
In the culture itself. And then their pool of people they can choose is limited because it has to be French speakers. So they all get a bigger slice. So it's like this double thing of like they can fully have a career in French, but
so what does it take for Toronto to do that? In
so we
terms
can
of
do that.
ingraining it in
There's a
culture?
lot of people like Toronto still cultivates. Toronto's a breeding ground for headliners.
Okay.
You can get really good in Toronto, but it's the people that have that thing inside them that says I want to go to the world stage that have to go to LA, New York, or try to do it by way of like England or
But that's
whatever
what I'm
the
saying.
fuck,
How
right?
do we build it here?
The talent is created here, but the eyes, in order to like catalyze that growth, it seems to only be where the big industries are, which is LA,
Because
New
people
York.
keep moving there.
Well, it's
Stop moving there.
No, it really comes down to like where to get scouted, where to get discovered, and you can't get discovered in Toronto because the people that live within the industry or that are within the industry live in LA, New York.
They're gonna go to the Improv or the Comedy Store or
Invite
the
them
Cellar.
out.
They're not gonna fly to Toronto.
Why don't we fly them out?
Like if
That's a good point because
You can fly them out for a night, let them see the best of the best.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Every once in a while until it becomes a thing like, yo, we should go to Toronto.
because they got 10 times the population in America and they have a pressure to support Americans.
Well, yeah,
first.
definitely.
And there's 10 times
There's not
the
even a
Americans.
pressure. There's no pressure there.
Yeah.
They willingly
Yeah.
who will support the worst U.S. whatever, as long as it's not a Canadian whatever.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah,
what
yeah,
it is.
yeah,
in-
100%.
in general. But I feel like, especially now, in this like whole digital era that we're in, there should be none of that. There should be no
You're right.
walls or barriers for any of that stuff. We should be funneling content to whoever these players are. If we can't fly them out here, because this city is like, come on.
But here's the thing.
Montreal, it's never made sense to me. I've always thought about that. We get 2 weeks in what, September?
Yeah.
We get 2 weeks of comedians, and then that's it. Like, that's weird to
Oh,
me.
and someone was just at JFL and they told me how much shittier they treat the Canadian talent than the American talent.
Where?
When they come to do JFL, the Americans get better hotels.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
They get better shuttle services.
Yeah.
There's just more money allocated to
Little brother
the
syndrome is-
comfort of Americans.
Little brother syndrome is still going very prevalent here.
Yeah,
No matter
that's a
how
good way to
much
put it.
we big bro them. Like, if you think about it, in terms of art, we have the top artists in every genre.
Think about it. Yes.
In
Yeah.
every genre, we have the top artists right now. R&B, Weeknd. Rap, Drake. Pop, Bieber. We
Oh,
got-
you're right.
And those are the top 3 streaming
It's all
artists
that
in the world.
underdog thing. Like, I will make it in this land.
In terms of the arts, we're bodying shit.
Crazy.
It doesn't make any sense to me. So, like, even in
But
that...
all those people. So in the case of Bieber, fucking Usher came and discovered him. Okay,
yeah,
so that's like some weird God thing that let's
All those
assume that's
people
not
had
a
to branch
possibility.
out. All those people
But
had to branch
Drake,
out.
yeah, exactly. Drake had to get with Wayne and YMCMB and go to America.
Weekend had to sign a label in Europe.
And we can go to Europe first before.
He signed with a label in Europe after Drake put him out there to the masses.
Yeah.
Everybody thought he would sign with OVO, ended up signing another label, and yeah.
It's like that thing. It's that thing where it's like Canadians need to see a Canadian on American things to be like, we love them.
Yep.
They are the shit. It's like, bro, did you know when Alberta, like, when it filters out and creates gas, all that petroleum, like all those oil lines, they go to America first before they come to Canada. Like that, all that oil goes to America first, and then it comes to Canada. So it's like the exact same thing as talent. I feel like
Same shit as weed.
same, yeah, same thing as the
drugs.
talent.
It's basically
It has to go there.
It's where the
The
money,
American pipeline.
They standardize it like this guy's talented. Look, he's at the cellar, and then everyone in Toronto's like, "Yo, let's buy tickets. He's at the cellar in New York now. He's making it in New York.
Yep,
That means
yep.
we respect him more here."
You could just take a trip. You don't even need to work. Just take
And do
a
the
trip.
same set. We'll say
You're in Paris.
Yeah.
How crazy were your DMs?
It was sick, bro. Yeah, it was
crazy were your
It's
DMs?
crazy. It's crazy.
People seeing you do comedy in France,
it
and
was
they
sick,
must have
man.
been like, "All right, bro, we got to get it. He's doing comedy in France, right?"
And I met comedians there from New York. Like a bunch of Americans that were there, LA, New York and stuff. We're all like on the same like level. It's not like they're in my mind I was like, oh shit, she's from New York. Oh fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
no.
she was funny, don't get me wrong. I forget it now. I wish I could drop her name, but she was funny, but it wasn't like, yo,
I can't.
New
do
York
this.
is a whole different
I gotta
level.
rethink my whole shit. Like, yeah, no, exactly. I don't think it's like that at all. I really do think you're funny or not. It's just that simple.
Even in LA, they have Canadian comics are known in LA. They'll be like, oh, you're a Canadian, huh? Because we come to America, we come to LA like ripe and we're funny. We have we have a different funny where we know Canada stuff and we know all of American pop culture. We have like a second thing.
we have a broader scope.
We have a broader scope and we have the underdog thing, chip on our shoulder.
Chip on the shoulder.
So they're like, oh, you're a Canadian, huh? Like we're killing it in LA in these places.
Yeah.
No, we also have the. We're very fortunate to have stage time, and it's not as ruthless as a place
As it
like
is
New
here,
York.
yeah.
3 minutes out there in New York.
Exactly.
You know?
3 minutes. All right, you got 3 minutes. Go up.
We actually we
Kill
don't
us.
have an excuse. We don't have an excuse as a comic out here to not get better. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's
Exactly.
So many rooms to get better.
Exactly.
If not, just do your own room. I think it's funny when people are like, oh, I can't get up. I can't find spots. It's very easy out here. If you have
I
that mentality in
emailed
the
somebody and
States-
they put me on in 2 weeks.
yeah.
Like, I don't know this person, never met them anywhere. Somebody sent me the email, said, yo, tell them that you're a comedian and you want a spot.
The fact that it's pay to play in some places in the States, like you gotta pay for stage time.
Niggas gotta
Oh, yeah,
buy
oh,
two
yeah.
drinks.
I did that.
Gotta buy two drinks.
that?
Gotta do all bunch of
Right
shit.
before COVID, I went to LA and I have friends there and they're like, yo, we'll get you. LA is so ruthless that when I got there, my buddy's like, yo, I can't get you a spot on these shows. LA comics are so desperate to get a spot and they can't. I can't get an outside guy a spot.
yeah.
I can't get you a spot. So I'm like, fuck. He's like, go to the Haha, the open mic. I go there. You pay $5 to get in a
bucket.
draw.
Yeah.
Where they draw you for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I ended up getting this, but it's still like $5. You might not even get time.
Well, that's what happens when there's
How
such
long
a
was it?
boom of
5 minutes?
fucking.
5 minutes.
There's such a boom of comedy bars in the '80s, late '80s, that like they can do that. It got so many different people to be like, oh, I could try comedy. I could try comedy, especially if it's everywhere, like fucking Tim Hortons.
yeah.
You know what I
Also,
mean?
Like, I feel like it puts like it's also a luxury to be from like this city or to be doing comedy, kind of like what Norm was saying. Because yeah, you get more time to refine your skills and get better, more time, and it's kind of like you know when you're playing basketball like in a lower level, like a lower tier,
Yeah.
and you just get more playing time,
Yeah.
and
exactly.
you're getting more buckets. You're getting from
Instead of trying to play with the big guys and
sitting on the bench.
Sitting
like
on
I
the bench.
remember, put it like I remember when I used to invite my mom to like invite my mom to a basketball game, and I probably paid like 5 minutes. And in that 5 minutes, I got so upset. Like I didn't have a good time. I was missing all my
Yeah.
shots because it was
can't
like
get in the rhythm.
it was garbage minutes.
Yep.
And I sit in the car with my mom. And she's like, why are you mad? Like, why are you upset? I was like, yo, I didn't get to play. You came and you watched me and I played like shit. She's like, you think I paid for you to come like be upset?
Yeah.
I paid for you to have a good time.
Yeah.
And then I thought about it like in my time doing comedy now, like I've just been like immersing myself in the Toronto comedy scene, and I always wanted to like make sure that when I came home, like I'd be playing 40 minutes. Like I'd be
exactly.
I'd be doing I drop 40 points, something like that. When I invite my mom, I want my people and my friends to come.
Yeah, that's my mentality with the States. To be honest, it's like I'm not. So many people are like, oh, why don't you move to New York? Why don't you move to LA? I'm like, I kind of want to be a superstar before I go there. Like, I'd love to go over there and be on something where I can command certain things. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly, yeah.
If I could work my way into a situation where I go over there and they need me,
Yes.
that's much better. And why do I have to do? I'm definitely not doing that. Going there and trying to make them need me, because everybody goes there to make them need them. That's not the place you want to start off. Like you want to New York and LA specifically. You want to get in there when you're established as something.
Because you could establish yourself as much as you want out here, and then go there and it's a reset button.
Hard reset,
Shit.
Factory reset.
So it's either you really, really do well out here, so like they can't question anything out there, but it's just like you said, it's just like going to another league that's just that much better.
I'm trying to go the Andrew Schultz
totem pole.
My boy, my boy Dino would say this all the time. He'd say like, I remember we were sitting one day, and he's like, I'm cool with being like a factory level worker, like comedian. Like I pull up anywhere, anytime. Sometimes I might do an arena, or like sometimes I might do a theater. But like I love my comfortable rooms, you know, my intimate rooms. But I'm still working, and I'm cool with the dudes that are eating like that. So whenever it's like it's respect and it's love when I get there, but it's consistent.
I do feel like there is a certain capacity or size of a room where it becomes dishonest. It starts becoming dishonest. I do think that like, over like 200 people or so, it starts getting a little dishonest, because like laughter's contagious. You know what I mean? Like there could be 1-2 people laughing in a row, and now you feel the pressure to laugh because you don't want to be the one that didn't get the joke or some shit. Whereas a smaller room, there's a lot less of that mob mentality. It's more so like, impress us. Like do your best to impress us. You know what I mean? Audience members can't be lost in the crowd. They can stand out, and that gives them a certain sense of power. Where they don't have that in a crowd of 1,000 people. You know what I mean?
I could be on my phone.
I could do anything. You know what I mean? But if it's 200 people or less, like you talk,
Like I can affect the show.
I can affect what's going on in this room.
When you're in a theater, you don't have that feeling.
Not at all. And you feel the need to just go along with what
just shut the fuck
theater's
up.
doing.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean?
Yeah.
So it can become dishonest.
That's a
Then
good
you
point.
roll into, obviously, you know, when you have your own crowd and your own fans.
Unless it's like a crowd full of like 2,000 Jamaicans. Then
2,000 old UK Jamaicans.
I can ruin this
feel
show.
every moment of it. I've done like I've done the show where I've opened for like a major hype in White Yardie. And bro,
I did that show.
Bro, like those crowds are actually phenomenal because
so fun.
Like I think I do this one joke about like a dirty wine where it just involves like rap lyrics and stuff. But like before I even get to the end of the joke, like just man them and gal them and just like it's just you feel like mid set. People will get up and they'll tell you like with their hands.
Yeah.
With their hands.
Tap into nostalgia or things. Do you remember when we used to? Any of that. Remember when we used to? And now these kids are.
Insert.
That's all Caribbeans need, honestly, because that's one of the main focus of everything. We used to do this. Now these kids do this. Like, that's just what it is. So that'll always work. Major show. I did the Africa versus Indies, and that shit was probably my favorite show I've ever done.
And the independent shows, like I find like in the midst of like coming up and getting into stand-up comedy, I used to think like, okay, like there's a lot of kiss the ring type action happening at Yuck Yucks and these other venues or whatever.
From what he was telling me, I definitely thought that.
Right? And so, but like the authentic part of the come up is being able to like, again, service your people. So like when I go to like when I do Norm Show, like I it's so multicultural, but you also know there's gonna be a lot of Filipinos there.
Yeah. A lot of potheads.
A lot of like, and it's just like you a
lot of fashion sense.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Yo, Norm shows me the swaggiest shows I've ever seen in my life.
Abbas just did it.
I just did it a couple days ago.
Felt
I was like, do you know how much Stussy is in this room right now? Do you have any idea?
That's too funny.
Yeah, man, the
That-
best shoes.
Yo, norm shows are definitely a special. I love seeing that when I go to different people's shows that like a comedian put on the show, not like the venue or anything like that, because you kind of see their personality reflected in the crowd. You know what I mean? Certain people show up and you're like, this is what you are. You know
And
what I mean?
also, like, to circle back on what you were saying earlier, in terms of like how could we create this pipeline for like comedians to come up? Essentially, the pipelines could be created by the people per se.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if we're able to do as many of those shows and connect as many of those, it's no different than just like putting a dot on a map enough times or beside
Planting a
each other.
seed, yo.
Just to make it a big
circuit
thing.
that we're
Exactly.
creating.
Make it a blockchain, you know?
Because we all have the ability to do that right now. Like everybody, you've thrown your own show.
I've had many shows, and I'm about to remake another show. I'm just trying to find a venue, but yeah, like I always say to the guys around me, I'm like, we should all have a show. Like, let's not be having 3-4 shows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it's like
Well,
a
no,
nightmare.
I think that's good. I think that if we, if you want to soft condition your crowd into getting into like, I compare it to when the Raptors we first got a team, right? The first 2-3 seasons, niggas didn't know you shouldn't make noise when our team is shooting the foul shot. They didn't know you should give a standing ovation if one of our players get a 40-point game and coach calls a timeout with like 10 seconds left just to get him off the court so everybody can applaud. Nobody knew that shit because we're all used to hockey rules. But it took years and years of basketball and knowing crowds and winning teams, losing teams for everybody to now everybody's like, it's like
they know the playbook. Yeah.
second nature.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know exactly how you should conduct yourself.
And if you don't, you just pay a fuck attention. It's like we were saying, like if everyone shuts up or stands up, you stand up or shut the fuck up.
Exactly. And it showed even more. Remember when Kevin Durant got injured in that game? We've never been in the finals. We've never been that deep into the playoffs where it really meant something. So he gets hurt, and everybody's just fucking laughing, clapping, cheering.
Not like this.
Because we've never been in that situation. And on top of that, majority of the people there were people who could afford the tickets. And those people who could afford the tickets are not basketball watchers. They're not basketball passionate people. They're people who want to be like, I was at that game. You know what I mean? Those tickets were fucking
Ridiculous.
D's, bro. D's. I saw probably 7 minorities. And they're all scammers. I know those niggas.
It's like I produced a show. I produced a show in Toronto like last month or 2 months ago, and it's a lot of like my demographic is majority like young Muslim East Africans, Pakistanis, and so Asians, and so I think one of my boys came through. He bought like a 6 tickets for his friends and family, and so he brought like not knowing the context of a comedy show being like adult. Like contact, like 18,
Brought an 8-year-old.
He brought like his 16-year-old sister, and 2 of them, maybe 3 of them, and thinking like, oh man, we're coming to support like Hassan, like, and it was cool. But then you got like me talking, the Tish talking about like, yo, you want to come for your boy? would you come for your boy? And like my boy messaged me saying stuff like, hey man, you should have told me. And I was like, I thought you would know.
Yeah.
But people just don't know.
Yeah.
Some people don't understand the comedy etiquette. They don't know the comedy protocol.
Especially when you're talking about immigrants too, like, you know what I mean? We didn't have stand-up in Jamaica like that. You know what I mean? Like, you guys didn't have stand-up in Sudan
Fuck
like
no,
that.
dude.
Like, it's not something that like is the norm for people. It's not a custom that they're used to. So I think we do need to throw our own shows, like, but we do need to bring it together at some point.
Oh, without a
where
doubt, dude.
all the audiences could be together in one room, and you really see the power of what everybody's able to produce. All 4 of us have done our own shows.
Oh, yeah.
In here, so it's like I'm pretty sure we do not share the same crowd. I go to Norm shows. I don't see 3/4 of the people that I know. I may see like 6 or 7. I go to your show, I probably know 5 or 6. Go to
Oh,
your
when you
show,
come to
5 or
my
6.
show, it's all London and Milton and Mississauga. People you've never seen before.
See,
Like,
exactly.
They
and
all
those
come
are
for the
all
show.
audiences that just love to laugh.
All these
That's
random
they love to do.
engineers.
Yeah, literally. You've done my show. You've done my show a couple times.
Blackberry
Remember at free
employees.
times?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that going again. I don't know if there, but I'm gonna get that going.
Rims HR pulls up.
But it blows my mind how many stand-up shows in the city. Most of them don't have music. And I'm like, bro, if you've run a comedy show and you have music at the beginning, at the end, and in between the acts, it levels up the show on a different
It
level.
makes everything move at a good pace.
And it just gives that a nice vibe
palate
when there's
reset.
music as you're sitting and
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
Have 80% of the shows don't have music. It's just
yeah.
you just sit in
The
silence.
understand
DJ,
it.
like even that, the DJ makes the ambiance that much better.
Yeah, I've always had a DJ at my shows. Like
It's
even
necessary. It's
from
not a show,
MCing,
really.
From an MC point of view, I've MC'd for years.
Yeah.
And like if I go there, the first thing I ask, do you have a DJ?
Yeah, and then you go meet with the DJ.
Exactly. And then now I know that
sit with the DJ too.
DJ can bail you out when there's certain something like a comedian's late or whatever. Like there's so many different things that is useful for sure. But some people want to play music like full on sets in between sets, and then it's like, nah, we can't do that. You gotta have a flow of some sort. But yo, thank you guys so much for
This
coming
was a
through.
pleasure,
This was
brother.
great. This is amazing. Make sure you guys let them know where they can find you.
Yo, you could find me at Abbas Wahab on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everything. ABBAS Wahab, WAHAB. Or most importantly, just listen or watch the Immigrant section, YouTube, Spotify, Apple.
Great show. I had mad fun on it. I know Norm just recently did an episode, so you guys can go check that out for Gravy listeners. Get it. Hassan.
You can find me at Feeling Myself 07. That's the IG handle.
He loves saying his IG handle. You can see it in his face.
It sounds so self-involved, but I
Feeling
promise-
myself 07.
my last name is Phils. It's a play on words. And then YouTube, TikTok, and the whole shebang, man.
And your show coming up.
Oh
And
yes,
your
and I got a
podcast coming up. I'm joking.
No, podcast. But I'm doing a show this Friday, November 5th, called the Come Up Comedy Show. It's just gonna be a, pretty much like Dave Chappelle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not gonna be there, but all my funny friends and myself are gonna.
I think a lot of white people would be very happy to hear that.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys for coming through, man. We really appreciate it. We love the comedy scene, obviously, and you guys will definitely see them on Extra Gravy Comedy, which will be starting soon. We'll have those announcements and details for you guys. But the monthly show is back. So make sure you guys are ready for some comedy. And yeah, man. That was your test. You are now online.
Did I pass?
You did pass. You can hear you.
Okay, cool.
Alicia's here, guys.
Hi.
New sound effects. Do 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 do.
So we don't have the capacity.
Why Goldilocks say that today?
The meme is universal.
I just stopped and I looked. I was like,
So we don't have the capacity.
what Marlon and them kept saying last week.
We don't have the capacity.
Yo, that's so funny. I feel so disconnected every time I laugh, but it's so funny. Like he's really in pain. Like they really don't have the capacity.
I don't even know what that's from. I've never heard it or seen it.
It's an African like news interview. Like this guy's like having some sort of conference.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost like he's retelling a story. I don't know the full thing, and I don't want to because then I'll stop laughing whenever I see someone post this. But it's like he's reading off a letter, and he's like, I told them, we don't have the capacity. And then he just, it's like one of those ones, you know that last line someone says before they absolutely just break down completely?
Aw.
People come and like console him and shit, and he's just... I was like, what's happening? Did a ship go down or something? Like, what is the capacity? Was there an elevator, 14 people that could only allow 13? They all went crashing to their deaths. I don't know what happened.
Anytime a voice cracks into tears, it's that there's something funny but sad at the same time.
Some people have funny cries, and that's just
there
just what it
are
is.
really, really bad criers.
there's some
in
bad
this
Kim
world.
Kardashian.
Oh, plastic surgery or Botox criers are probably some of the funniest without saying a word. because their faces, like you see them crying, but the face does not respond in a crying manner. There's no wrinkling, there's no lines. It's just
there's certain facial muscles that are exercised or like that activate
stressed.
when you show emotion.
Yeah.
But like if you Botox them out and done all the surgery to ensure that you don't see those wrinkles anymore, it doesn't really translate that much. Like when a person's like trying to show like some form of sadness, like you don't even see the face wrinkles on the frown.
Yeah, no,
So
I
you
can't
just-
do that. That's the forehead
It's an
is my
emotionless
thing.
smile.
White people love getting rid of them white lines on the forehead.
Yeah, so it's
I
constant.
used to look at myself in the mirror and be like, do I need Botox? I was like 12.
No, I got mine like because I stay like trying to open my eyes.
That is not a racist Asian joke. He's Asian.
No,
He can make it.
I actually try because they're always small. Or people said like, I'm not gonna lie. When I was younger, people used to say, "Hey, when you start looking tired, you look like you have Down syndrome." That was a common thing that people used to say to me, right?
What?
Like, when you get too
Wait,
high,
people just said it like as a matter of fact, like, and just random different people.
that was a common diss. If anybody wanted to like throw shade at me or make fun of me or something, like, yo, shut up, Downey. Like,
What?
Wow.
Downy.
Yeah, that was a
That
thing.
is a wild one. I do understand. I remember when realizing that a lot of Down syndrome, people who suffer from Down syndrome, have the same face makeup, kind of. But I've never no, that's weird. You don't look anything like that. Don't listen to them.
It's funny though, because when I would actually try to put on the face, just when you're a kid, you're just like you go "Boo," whatever. And I saw some photos,
back
and I
in
was
the
like,
day.
I do in some.
You
angles.
get it?
So I was never even mad. I would just play
I don't
along
see
with
it.
it.
Maybe when you're shorter hair days. Was it short hair?
It was bald, when I was bald. and,
Okay,
like,
bald and
and just I'd pull out the bottom chin and just make the face. Can't do that. That's like, I guess that's another form of like blackface, or if anything.
is that wild? Is that a wild cancelable thing that like you're? Well, I guess it's because of what you're saying they look like. I don't know. What is the cancelable part about that? If
Making
it's
fun of
yourself.
somebody that that doesn't choose to be like that,
Yeah, but I mean, to me, they don't.
disability.
People with Down syndrome don't all look. I don't know. They don't look the same to me. They have the same
There's
characteristics and
yeah.
features, maybe
Something with the
sometimes.
eyes, the mouth.
But you can't say that on
100%.
100%. This is what it looks like. That's weird to me.
I think it's the eyes, though. They say it has something to do with the eyes.
I don't see it,
It's
brother.
like Down
I
syndrome
don't see
eyes.
it, brother, man. You're a very good looking Asian man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying?
It makes me wonder though. You remember when Damon Wayans had that character in Living Color called
Arnez J did too.
Handyman,
Mhm.
and he's like, never underestimate the powers of the handicap.
That was,
and
it was so normal back then.
and we would all laugh at him like when he would fall out the window before he jumps to fly away. He doesn't even do no crazy leap. He just does this and
This falls out. Arnez J used
And
to
we
do
would
that about
die.
his brother.
oh yeah.
And so that's why that's why I felt he was able to get away with it, because he was talking about his brother all the time.
Yeah,
And his
yeah.
brother kind of became famous, like off the stories alone. Everybody wanted to
right.
always meet his brother, take pictures with him and shit. But he'd do all that. And I was just like, is this wrong that he does this if it's his brother? Like, where's the line drawn on that? It's very odd. Very odd. But anyways, how was y'all week?
It's good, man. It's good.
It was good, period.
It was good.
Smoke. You know what? I smoked a lot of weed this week.
You did smoke a lot of weed. Norm is back in full swing. Backwards?
I had a little bit of back. I had
Oh, pack of backwoods. Spread out?
I would say so.
Okay.
I would say so.
I've been killing backwoods for no reason other than I think you haven't. So I'm like trying
Need to catch up. I'm doing this on Noah's behalf.
to.
No, I think I just let myself go. I'm like coming back to it now.
Nice.
That
not
lasted
like-
like a month.
That
2
pneumonia
months,
is
2
gone.
months.
Okay.
But no, I'm going. When I said I'm going back to it, I mean I'm going back to like not smoking, because that week was fun and all. But I was like, I think I like
Honestly,
taking that break.
there is a noticeable difference
Yeah.
in just energy, mood.
Yeah.
You seem way more like down today.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
know you're probably not. You're just like high and tired. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're just out of it.
I'd be waking up out of these afternoon naps, these midday naps, and
You've had a couple of those this week. You've had a couple of those this week.
They're so bad. They're like, I think weed is the one thing that allows me to relax. But then when I relax, I just knock out. So I
And
need
you never get that energy back.
You need
I
a
never
good
get it
balance.
back.
You need to find a good balance. Something that provides you a little bit of the high sometimes, but without all of the downers,
right.
the downing powder part of it.
I think that's why mushrooms is something I enjoyed because mushrooms keep me up, and I'm up and at it thinking. But when I smoke weed, I don't like to do them both at the same time because I do not want to associate the two together. So I feel the need to do them at the same
Now
time.
it's peanut butter and jelly.
Now it's either peanut butter
Or jelly.
jelly. I just realized I said peanut butter.
I heard that.
Peanut butter? What?
Hey man, let that shit play.
So we don't have the capacity.
Peanut butter?
I was just gonna keep it, in my head.
That would
I
be
was
like,
ooh.
that'd be like the worst Jamaican company ever. Peanut butter. Peanut and body. That's a lot. Yeah, no, my week was all right. Very hectic. Got some things planned. I'll just say it. Fuck it. We're doing Midnight Society. I've been doing Midnight Society for months now. Me and Alicia did it on Clubhouse for a couple weeks. We had probably our biggest highlight was when we got the Vision in there to talk about between a muse and her feelings.
Yep.
And he came through and 1985 came through and they discussed the album with us. That was really dope. But now what I've been planning this entire time is to make it a physical event. The virtual experience was just like a primer, just trying to get you guys, used to the concept. I've been doing it on Twitch for the past couple months. It's been really fun. I love music discussions, obviously. That's like 75% of this podcast. And I love listening to music for the first time, especially on that Thursday night, midnight drop. You've been waiting for this album for weeks or months or years, and it's finally here. I enjoy that. And I love experiencing things for the first time with a group of people. Like, that's my shit. If we're going to college for the first time, it was amazing. Going fucking out of the country on a trip for the first time with friends, amazing. Like, I love those experiences. So, like, with all these music drops.
You like group virginity popping.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. Group virginity GVP. You down with GVP? Yeah, you know me.
Is that a new HPV? Like, no, it's GVP.
It's GVP. It's the episode title. We definitely have a lot of fun talking about music online. I know people are constantly on Twitter, like especially when Drake dropped, it was just Twitter convos, Instagram memes, all this different stuff. And I'd love to have those discussions in person with people, get us back into rooms together, obviously. So I'm doing it this Thursday. Summer Walker's album, long awaited, long anticipated. She just dropped the track list. Did you guys see the track list?
No.
You didn't see it?
I saw it. I just glazed
Track
over it.
list is looking.
Are you gonna do it every week in person or
No, absolutely not.
Like
do it
once
only
a
big
month
music
or
drops.
something?
Only
Oh,
big
okay.
music drops. I think I was gonna do it once a month, have it like a staple thing like that. But then again, you don't. Yeah, there's music dropping all the time, but it's not. Maybe the
Worthy
music
of
that
it.
I think is worthy of having an entire event for.
yeah.
Whereas when SZA drops, when Brent Faiyaz drops, Kalani, Kendrick, these I will be having the event
All your
for these.
faves.
All my faves. I'll be very biased. I'll have you guys know that right now. There will be no
only
Pooh
be
Shiesty listening
Marlon.
session.
Favorites.
Unless you get the bag. If it's someone's like, hey, can I pay you? And then
It
can you
depends.
host
It
one
still
of my
depends.
music?
If it's Kid Cudi paying me, nope. Sorry. I'm not a Kid Cudi fan. I don't see the
So it's got to
the
be
fun in there for me.
synonymous with
my
with
taste.
your taste.
Yes.
So if some guy's got the money, but the music sucks.
Because at the end of the day,
turn down
I'm
the
picking
money.
people that I feel will also help the event. Not necessarily just things I want to hear, but will it help the event? Kid Cudi to me is not I don't know. I feel like majority of the people that listen to him like to be alone. So it's like it's kind of defeating the
So
purpose.
they're depressed.
You want to be alone. You know what I mean?
So
When you
that's
listen
gonna
to
be the
Cudi.
Zoom listening part.
That'll be the virtual. That'll be the digital.
You guys can stay at home to listen to this one.
Be on the metaverse. Yeah. Speaking of the metaverse, we've heard Facebook changing their name to Meta. Obviously trying to get ahead of things. Zuckerberg. Plus, they were in deep and desperate need for a rebrand. Let's be very real. Facebook has just declined in viewership,
They've gone through
respect,
so much.
dignity.
They're losing face.
Lawsuits.
Honestly, Facebook is like a yearbook to me now. I go in there to look at old shit. Where's my old friends at? Let me see the families they've begun. Oh, they got a caravan. You know, things like that. I don't go on there for entertainment, for information, for news, for jokes, for sports.
You don't go to join groups? When was the last time you joined a Facebook group?
Comedy. Just the corner. That was
okay,
best. Yeah, because comedians just seem to be behind the wheel on everything social media. These guys are still on Facebook organizing sets, and it's very confusing to me. But I mean, what? If that's where I gotta go.
Facebook page, Facebook events. Be like, I don't know when was the last time I accepted an invite for a Facebook event.
People still promoting events via Facebook? God bless.
Yeah, dude.
Those used to be the shit, though. A
But
party
what's crazy
happens.
is those are the people
getting
that
on the
will
event
actually
Get that little
spend the money to go to your event.
Notification.
People on Facebook.
That
It's
is the joke.
Weirdly enough,
That is a joke.
like they have jobs that keep them away from the internet, so they'll understand how to do that.
That's
Honestly,
not true. They be sitting on there playing, what's those games? Like Candy.
Candy Crush is
Candy
Facebook
Crush and
adjacent.
the animal one.
Yup.
I don't even know what it's called. That's what they be doing at work.
Animal. Was it you playing
Farmhouse
Animal Crossing?
No.
Animal
Animal
Crossing.
Crossing? I don't know what
they be
the fuck
fucking
it is.
farming and harvesting and shit.
I go on
Y'all
Facebook
niggas
for Marketplace.
fucking crazy. Yo, I blame those type of games. This is how we ended up in this shit. Sims. All those type of games where you can create an online, which is exactly what the metaverse is, create an online digital representation of yourself.
Oh, that's what the Metaverse is? Because I really didn't pay attention. I just thought they were changing
It's
their name.
basically a world on the internet. So something that is basically what has already been there, but is a new thing. So they call them, okay, so there's the web, which is when the internet began. Then there's Web 2, which is when social media entered. And then now they're calling this Web 3, where the metaverse will be the future of the internet. And we already are in it. I don't know why they try to promote this like it's some new shit. We're already in the metaverse. People have invested so much into their digital stock in life. Like I just took this in during the Halloween because I was just like, yo, how many people get dressed for their friends or for the party they're going to? You get dressed for the internet.
For the internet, and if there's
Well,
Or if
nowadays-
you just want to get into a
prize.
party and it's a costume party, you need a costume, then you'll see someone throw something together, but they'll still put it on the internet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Memes are like probably 75% of the costumes I see now are memes.
True. I find people like just want to have a certain level of attention. Like, oh, that was original. But
Yeah.
Definitely.
but then now it's the added thing is the social media. Like, is this also
I
repostable?
definitely think that for Halloween, we do it to get the attention of people online. Like you think of the most clever outfit so that it could go viral and all that stuff. And I'm cool with that. I mean,
Some people literally
Some
can't
people-
just be a cop. They can't just be a doctor.
nobody wants to be a cop.
They can't
Apparently,
just be-
like somebody went to like Party City or whatever those.
Somebody
stores are,
came to
and was
that
like,
slow jam party.
It was all
as a
police
cop.
officer shit left. Nobody wanted to be the cop.
Somebody took a picture of a row of surgical masks to be a nurse. And they're like, are you fucking kidding me? Masks? That's what you're going to try to sell us after a year of this shit.
Yeah,
Masks.
we have them.
Fuck that. Fucking somebody came to last slow jam party as a cop.
Wow.
And
That's
Four
crazy.
Corners came as, what was it, Hamburglar? What was he?
Skeleton.
Oh, yeah, skeleton.
So what? So do you judge? Are you kind of judging the people that like don't do anything to like dress up like out of the norm?
Absolutely not. I envy those
You
people.
envy those people.
Because when I get dressed, I feel like I have to put on for the internet as well. Especially
Yeah.
being a personality. I feel like it's expected of me to do something for the internet based on my costume.
Yeah.
And we've seen too many influencers that like put on music video because they were Beyonce, or worked out a whole skit because they were this one
that
character.
one girl, Tabari Majors,
Was
I think
Sierra
her
and
name
did
is.
every video.
Yeah, and she did Beyonce before.
I seen that.
And
She
she's
bodied it.
done another one, I think, too. But like, she goes the fuck off. But she puts on a whole ass production for
Listen.
this, which is like, it's half and half, because you don't have to do it for Halloween. It's definitely a great way to celebrate the artistry of some of these like women and stuff like that.
I mean, it definitely is. I just don't believe that the sentiment is not entirely or even most of the reason that they do it. Because this
I think
girl, she
for
does
Beyonce,
it. She
it was
killed
like,
it.
when she did Beyonce, it was like, okay, I just want to like do
Felt
this
like
and
genuine
celebrate.
love.
Yeah. And then she was like, shit, everybody went off. Let me do this again.
And it's
let
not
me
even
figure
her,
out
maybe.
somebody like complicated.
It might not even be her. It could be a company that saw what she did last year and was like, let's bank off this. Put money behind her to get whatever. Because she, like, when you're saying going all off, it's not just costumes for this woman. Yeah. She got the sets that Sierra was in.
She sources like locations that look similar. Her outfits,
choreography.
She has full dancers with her. She's learning the dances, lip singing, professional lights, professional cameras. Like, it's literally a whole production for this. And she'll like, this one with Sierra, I didn't watch it all. I've only seen clips so far. But it's 16 minutes long. Like,
I just saw the minute trailer. I thought that was it.
No, it's 16 minutes long.
So okay, because
So
she
what
did
does
she
she get out of
did
this?
like 8 videos, and I was like, oh,
Nothing,
nice.
she
She
just
did.
does it, I guess.
She did like a clip, like in all these spots. They just did like 10 seconds.
No, she did like a whole thing.
That's insane. Wow, it's a medley.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a lot. I mean, if that's her hobby, then sure. I'm sure it's fun for her or whatever. If she likes that shit. But I wonder if Sierra's streaming numbers
Went up.
went up. Because if a lot of people are posting it and then people are like, oh.
I think they probably went up from
Let me
her,
listen to
not
her
from
catalog
Sierra's
again.
costume, which is weird.
Yeah, no.
And Sierra went off too. Sierra goes off every year. She was Selena this year, and all 3 members of TLC did a whole music video. Like,
yeah.
it's pretty. Yeah, no, people. I mean, I get loving Halloween, but a lot of this seems to be for the metaverse.
Yeah.
For the digital cloud,
But
the digital currency.
Honestly, like, I think the more clever and kind of like out of the box costume you can think of, it's more fun.
Oh, that
like-
guy that did Selena Gomez.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Fucking hilarious, dog. I didn't even get it when I looked at it. He's wearing the Selena purple bodysuit.
Like from Selena,
and he's
like the whatever her last name is. I don't know her. Like,
Kinte-
Kinte-
yeah, I can't pronounce it. I'm not gonna butcher it because she's a legend. But friggin', he's wearing the bodysuit, and then he's got a suit blazer over top with a hand on his shoulder, and he's
and like
Gomez.
a black like wig, like short wig or whatever.
He's Gomez from Addams Family, but he's also Selena. So he's
So
Selena
she was
Gomez.
Selena Gomez.
Oh my God.
That's some shit you would do.
Inception.
That's some shit.
Wait.
That's some shit
Yeah.
Norm
Did
would
I
fucking do, bro.
Did I save the thread? Because there were some other ones that were really good. And I was like,
Norm
yo.
would definitely find some way
Yo, I
to
would
dress
do
as a
shit
pun.
like that.
Damn.
Oh man.
He would find some way to dress as a pun.
I feel like I was just talking about this with somebody the other day, and we were literally talking about different ways to create
hybrid costumes.
without actually doing the costume itself. But it's just like when you put it together, when you read it out, like that.
Like Billy Crystal. And
Yeah,
it's
you
like
know?
a goat with a jewel.
You know?
You're a goat with a ring with bling. You're dressed as a goat, blinged out.
Oh my gosh, I found the
Crystal.
thread. Let's see.
I don't know how else
Now
to
you
do
got
it.
me thinking.
See, now he's gonna go off next year.
This-
Next year is Halloween question.
This one person, she dressed as the shit emoji, the doo-doo emoji, and then she put a halo on her head and then carried around a vacuum, and she was holy shit, that sucks, man. Like a whole sentence.
Oh
What's your costume? I'm holy shit. That sucks, man.
That's amazing.
Yo, a full phrase.
That's
even
amazing.
better.
That's even better. If you're a whole phrase, that's even fucking littier.
And then this next person said that they once went as on Wednesday Addams, we wear pink. So you guys know from on Wednesday we wear pink.
Yeah.
And so I guess he dressed up as Wednesday Addams, but in all pink. Like the pink version.
On Wednesdays, we wear pink.
On Wednesday Addams, we wear pink.
You shouldn't put it to Adams. If it's on Wednesdays, we wear pink, it still works.
Yeah.
We would know.
That's crazy. That's really good. Yeah, no, people are too creative for me with that shit.
No.
My
I
boy
was
tweeted
Salvador Dali Patron once.
Oh, I seen a girl actually be something with Patron. Oh, I can't. Oh, she was Harry Potter, and she was carrying around the bottle of Patron and was saying "Expecto Patronus" with the bottle. I was dying. That was jokes. Yeah, no, but it's definitely for the internet. You know what I mean? And a lot of things that we're starting to do, we're not even starting to do that. We've been doing. It's literally just for the internet. And it's kind of scary with like the way that they discuss how this is going to work in terms of Zuckerberg was like fucking, he had like a digital icon or avatar of himself on the screen. And
That was
it's
a
like,
Black Mirror episode.
you can change your room in the metaverse to look exactly like what you've always wanted it to look like and all this other shit. And it's just like, dog, times are getting scary, man.
I mean, I've seen how engulfed I can get and invested I can get in my player in 2K. And I knowing that I'm like, okay, I don't want to get too caught up in my sim.
Mm-hmm.
But even something like that, I can understand why people would get so into it because they're gonna live vicariously through that simulated life. Man, I can't. And then now you're living two lives,
Dog.
That
This guy put it perfectly in like 10 slides. I'll read them out. Hot take. Everyone is wrong about the metaverse. Here's my 3-part theory. Part 1. Everyone is wrong. Most people think the metaverse is a virtual place. Like in the movie Ready Player One. A virtual world like Minecraft, Roblox, or like Zuck showed in the Facebook demo yesterday. But what if it's not a place? Part 2. It's not a place. It's a time. A time? Yes, a moment in time. You know, in artificial intelligence, there's an idea of the singularity. It's a moment in time where AI becomes smarter than humans. The moment when artificial intelligence is greater than human intelligence. The metaverse is the moment in time where our digital life is worth more to us than our physical life. This is not an overnight change or an invention by some Steve Jobs type. It's a gradual change that's been happening for 20 years. Every important part of life is going digital. Work, you work from factories to laptops and boardrooms to Zooms. Friends, from neighbors to followers. Where do you find like-minded people? Twitter and Reddit. Games, more kids play Fortnite than basketball and football combined.
Right there. There. Think about that.
Identity. Filters are the new makeup. Stories are your personal billboard to broadcast who you are. What matters more, what you look like in real life or what you look like on Instagram? The pick on the left is what they see, so it's what matters. Everything goes digital. Your friends, your job, your identity, and now with crypto, your assets are going to be online too. Bored apes are the new Rolex. Fortnite skins are the new skinny jeans. If everyone hangs out online all the time, then your flexes need to be digital as well. So if you play this forward another 10 to 20 years, we will cross into the metaverse. The moment in time where digital matters more to us than physical. Our attention used to be 99% on our physical environment. TVs dropped that to 85%. Computers dropped that down to 70%. Phones dropped that down to 50%. Our attention has been sucked from physical to digital, and where attention goes, energy flows. If 50% of our attention is on our digital screen, then 50% of our energy will go to our digital life. Today, it takes some effort to take our phone out of pocket and look at it. Soon, some company will make smart glasses that sit in front of your eyes all day. We'll go from 50% attention on screens to 90%. That's the moment in time when the metaverse starts, because at that moment, our virtual life will become more important than our real life. It's a fact. It's a fact. Like I've seen niggas look at a girl in person, right in front of their face. Ask them, yo, she on Instagram? Yeah, she has Instagram. Looking at Instagram, yo, this girl's a baddie. She's right in front of you. And you're seeing better versions of her. and in automatically associating it with her and physical, even though she's in the room, bro. In the room.
Yeah.
That's nuts. That's nuts. I just learned NFTs last night. NFTs, like, have you looked up on it?
Yeah, I don't care about it.
You should.
I can't.
You should, and you can. You can make a lot of money.
Confusing.
Everybody can make a lot of money.
Someone was like, it's just money laundering. Why can't we go back to the old days where we launder money through laundromats and pizza stores?
This one's a way easier way to fucking launder some money because you could buy things and have actual, like, digital clout. So say, for example, I wanted to buy the moment Lil Mama went up on that stage. Right? Mm-hmm. Say the awards put that as an NFT that's sellable. Mm-hmm. I can then buy that moment, own it, and anytime it's used later on, I get paid from it, even though I had nothing to do with it.
Well, that's what, when we talked about it briefly, was it last week or whatever? I was like, it makes sense for some of these people who went viral to own their own memes. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, we're over here using, like, that fucking kid that made the face now, like when he was 3. Yeah. And now he's like 13. Yeah. And imagine if he owned that and how many times it gets used on the internet. Like, well, he can't own that.
He can't own that. This is the thing, right? The number one selling point about NFTs is authenticity. Mm-hmm. So if you can prove that you were the one that produced this content, you put it out as an NFT and sell it, people just have to look into it, do a little background check to know that you're the one that did it. Obviously, there are a lot of scammers, a lot of fakes, a lot of people just selling whatever right now because technically you can. But if it's like trading cards, I kind of understood trading cards a little bit more now because it's a rarity to get the authentic 3 or 4 cards that are out there, right? Mm-hmm. NFTs, there's only one of everything in the world. So if you put it as an NFT and someone does their background check and can tell that you are the person that owns it, you're the person that created it, or you're the person that's in it, and then they buy that from you, they know that they have the authentic version of whatever that is, right? As a digital property. So I was just telling them this earlier. Imagine you could own Michael Jordan dunking from the free throw line that you see in everybody's home, like especially sneakerheads. Every sneakerhead's home, they have that picture of the fucking moonwalk or whatever. Mm-hmm. If you own that and then now you put in stipulations, every time this is used, 50%, I get royalties from it down the line, no matter who owns it.
But it's not the moment you're owning.
Yes, it is. So it's a digital moment you're owning.
But then, so let's say multiple people took photos of that moment. Mm-hmm.
That's their angle. They can NFT their angle.
Each angle.
Yes. They can NFT their angle if they feel like it.
But it's not the actual moment itself. Because can Michael Jordan say, like, this was my moment?
For example,
I created this moment.
The one angle you remember, right, is that baseline under the rim and you see him flying in. Mm-hmm. You want that angle because that's the one shown in all the movies, right? You don't want the guy that's on the court side.
That one or the side angle?
Or the side angle, yeah, obviously. But, like, you want those ones because those are the ones you see in everybody's homes. You see what I'm saying?
So all I'm saying is, does Mike get any kickback from that photo that somebody took of him?
Kickback?
Yeah, because
it would be the NBA that would have to sell it, first of all, because obviously NBA owns it.
Yeah. Or
and Michael Jordan has no... that's sticky. It depends on if he worked for if he didn't work for the NBA.
Because it could have been like just a media outlet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he didn't work for the NBA, whoever worked for whoever at that point, they can put it up. And they had to put it up as an NFT. It's not like you can just go on the internet, buy moments. You know what I mean? Like someone has to package it in order for you to purchase it. Yeah. So you can't just go, I can't just take something from intern's Instagram that went viral and just be like, yeah, here we go. We're putting this online for sale.
No, it's the person that
he has to NFT it, put it up put it onto the table for it to be offered. See what I'm saying? So it's very interesting. And it's not just viral moments. We just talked about this earlier. This bored monkeys that he just talked about. Someone's literally making artwork of monkeys, like cartoon monkeys, and they are the hottest thing in the NFT world. People are paying $25,000 to $500,000 for some of these things. Just a picture, right? It's not something that's gone viral. None of that. It's just, I don't know. I haven't looked into that specific niche. I don't know what that's about. Yeah. But I just know that, especially for artists, a lot of artists are on the platform making ridiculous amounts of money.
Like music artists?
Like,
is that what you
Tory
mean?
Lanez made $1 million in 1 minute. You guys remember that?
Those Frenchies? Those
he sold his album as NFTs for $1 on the NFT marketplace, and he sold 1 million units in 1 minute.
Didn't he do one with cartoon dogs called something Frenchies? And he sold a whole bunch of these cartoon.
Probably. He got wise to it very early on. Yeah. And if more artists smarten up, they'll get wise to it too. Because if I sell out Madison Square Garden 4 days in a row, I can sell all 4 of those digital performances.
Yeah.
And now anytime it's using a documentary, movie, or any of that shit, I get paid.
Okay. Yeah, but like, so it's really just owning the royalties of it.
Kind of, but
that's
like
all it
also
is in me, because like I just think about it when, like, say I was an online editor and I was writing an article about something, I could only use certain pictures within Getty
Fair
or
use.
whatever because we paid a subscription to be able to
partner with them,
use that, right?
their
And then
assets.
if we used anything outside of that, for example, every time Aaliyah's birthday or death date came around, some people would just Google whatever pictures came up. They would use it. They would post it on the social medias. They would post it on the website. And then the photographer who took that shot of Aaliyah, they would come and try to sue our company because of it, right? So for me, it's just like owning the rights, like copywriting, essentially.
Yeah, essentially that's what it is. But for everybody, and you're able right now, I feel like because it's so new, I feel like people are paying ridiculous amounts of money not knowing what the market is yet.
Yeah.
So people are just spending frivolously. I don't think in like 10 years, for example, it'll be nearly as lucrative.
Yeah.
Everything's going to cost dog waters. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be like that. And it's going to be certain things like viral moments and shit like that are really going to have it. But for right now, it's like Pokemon out there for some of these people. You got to catch them all. And it's more so like, I don't know which one of these things might hit in the future. So let me get as much as humanly possible.
Yeah.
And accumulate it. Plus, on top of that, you just have some rich niggas who just want the clout.
Yeah.
Early
they just
on,
want to be like, oh, I have this. I paid X amount of money for it.
On OpenSea, you can see the price. You can see the things that they own. Like, you can go to someone's profile and see, okay, they own these digital assets. And they're just there for you. So imagine you can go on there and see I own most of the popular memes on the internet. It's like it's more, they're capitalizing on clout.
Yeah.
And at the same time, have found a way to take the power and put it back into the hands of the artists and the creatives. Because think of how all the photographers that have had their shit reposted on somebody else's page, all this other stuff. You all right? Drinking that water real quick.
Went down the wrong way there.
Baby's like, let me get some of that. He
It's
burped.
like, do I drink the water to help or do I not?
He burped upwards.
I just wonder if these people that make these investments and buy the NFT will ever see the return. Because, like, how often will people really use, let's say, said angle of the Michael Jordan shot? What if someone's like, you know what? There's this person here
after they
that's
buy
selling it his angle cheaper. It may not be that angle, but it's an angle that's just as good.
That's capitalism, though, right?
You know what I'm saying?
That's like me going to Tim's, seeing the Tim's there, and be like, Payless got state streets that look exactly like this. Like, but at the end of the day, everybody knows you don't have Tim's.
Yeah.
It's a clout thing. It's back to clout again.
I guess so. Because I'm just thinking, like, because let's say, what's stopping a company from saying, you know what, I actually don't want to use the shot because now this is a really expensive NFT that we'd have to pay for the rights for.
Well,
So
we'd
it's
have to
just-
see that in the future, right? Like
You
it's
know?
so new now. We don't know how how these things are gonna play out. What's
It's
gonna
just
be
a
the
chance. Like it's even a chance. Like people had to take on Bitcoin years ago. Do
new.
you
It's
know
the
what
same
I
shit.
mean?
Yeah, same shit. Because look
If
at
we had bought fucking Bitcoin like 2 years ago,
10 years ago. My boy was telling me about Bitcoin in 2012. 2012, my nigga told me, yo, this Bitcoin shit. And I was like, what the fuck is that? Destroy the banks. Nigga, the bank. I went ham on him. I was like,
But
you're
like,
a psycho.
not even that far back. Like just a couple of years ago, you'd be a lot richer
Fucking
than
way
what you
richer.
are.
Way
And
richer.
it's like you just gotta kind of take a chance sometimes, but then also be smart about it. Like not everybody has money to just like throw away.
Well, it's also a crypto thing, right? So like people actually have to be a part of the crypto game to even enjoy the thrills, and that's a whole other level of learning. Like you buy Ethereum to purchase these things, right?
Yeah.
And I think the main reason I like this so much is the blockchain. The fact that it's a public ledger that is not in the hands of any one person or any one company, any one entity. It's everyone literally can look at this list and hold everyone accountable to the list.
Yeah.
The system itself holds everyone accountable to the list, which is
Yeah.
a public list. Banks, you can't go in there and see their ledgers. You can't go in there and see who owes what, where, when.
There's
It's not
no, like public
There's no
train.
public thing. There's nobody to hold you accountable. So they can do whatever with your
Paper
money.
train, yeah.
The banks are doing whatever with your money when you put it in there. They're investing it. They're doing all types of shit. And so with this, nobody can do anything with your money. You see where it is. Everyone else can see where it is. The computer, when you try to buy something, goes, did they have this at some point? Did they accumulate enough to buy whatever they're trying to buy? Look in the public ledger. Yes, you did. There you go. I love that. Could be shaky in the future though. Could be shaky in the
It
future.
could be just like a current moment for like the next couple of years, and then in like 10
Somebody's gonna
years,
find
it
a way to
just-
manipulate. This is what humans do. Someone's gonna find a way to manipulate the system or
Absolutely.
do something
All
that
the time.
throws everything off its edge. Because right now it looks like a genius play.
Goldie Cox is trying to convince me for us to go into like the mining of crypto
A lot of money.
and buying like the.
This is the downside of that. Mining.
Don't tell him he's smart. I don't want this shit in my basement.
You don't want to make passive income of like $2,000 a week.
Get it.
It's very easy.
That's
You're
what he did the math, and he was like, "We can make like 6,000 passive income just by
Listen.
having these machines."
If you
and
invest
doing
in that
X, Y,
right
and
now,
Z.
if you have the money to do so, I would advise to do so because it's first of all,
God
it's
damn it,
inevitable.
he's gonna listen
People are
to
gonna
this
do
shit
it.
and be
People
like,
have been doing it. People have been doing it. I know people who've been making passive income off that shit, $5,000 every 2 weeks, doing absolutely nothing but turning the computer on and keeping it on. And the downside of that is the amount of energy that it's taking to power all of this.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because I was like, apparently his boy does it, and every couple of days he gets like $500, $600 or whatever, like every 2 days. And then I was like, okay, but like, what about the fucking energy bill and shit? Like, how much is that shit?
Because these computers are all doing the smallest little calculations, like every second, every millisecond.
They're working really,
They're
really hard.
working, doing small little calculations. And so they say that Ethereum right now, the if you were to put it all together, it's using over like 33 trilliwatts, which to put that in perspective could power all of Serbia. And that is having an effect on, because obviously energy has to come from somewhere. We have power plants, fossil fuel energy, all going up into the sky, fucking up the atmosphere, and obviously the chain event is the weather and earthquakes.
Mining
monsoons.
is creating global warming in a sense.
It's speeding it up.
Yeah.
It's not creating it
Sorry,
because it's already
speeding
been
it,
here.
yeah.
It's speeding that bitch up.
All those wires in the ocean that are transferring all those internet
It's a lot, man. It's a lot.
informations and whatnot is heating up our water so
It's
much.
bad. It's bad. And
Wow.
I feel like it's happened before.
But
Thousands
seen-
of years ago, at some point, this all happened before.
I saw an article like infographic or whatever that says that our ozone layer is actually healing itself.
I've read that too. I've read that there's a hoax.
2050, where we should be back to like normal where it was like in the, what was it, like 70s, 80s or whatever, when it was like, or 70s, 60s, 70s or whatever, when it's way better. I don't know what it was. But yeah, I was like, I remember when we were in grade 5, maybe, we did, grade 5, grade 3, one of those two. We did a whole skit, like, play where we sang, act, all that shit. And all we did was talk about the fucking ozone layer.
Deteriorating, right?
Like,
yeah. That shit.
And how it was so stressful. And now the shit's clearing up by itself. I'm like, I love that for the ozone.
This is my thing. It's like, I think back then, before we had all these fears, we weren't being too proactive in putting in programs in place to, like, help nature. You know what I mean? We were like, oh, we're fine. Everything was moving. Seasons are moving as they must. And we had recycle, reuse, reduce. That was huge when we were kids.
Yeah.
But other than that,
Nothing else.
it wasn't like big, huge efforts. Now you see the Green Court. You see Leonardo DiCaprio,
Like
Matt Damon putting in millions of dollars into...
Millions of billions of dollars goes into like trying to protect our environment and technology. And there's like people who literally... whose job is to figure out different ways to, you know, better and help the
lengthen
world and
humanity,
stuff like that.
essentially. Lengthen our time here.
So it's good to see, like, the stuff working. You know what I mean? But then we go and do other things, like this digital mining shit that's going to send electricity through the world just because niggas want some money.
Niggas want some money. Yeah, no, it is. It's definitely a weird time that we're in. I knew it was weird seeing all these Velma costumes. What the fuck is going on with this Scooby-Doo resurgence? I'm very worried.
Was there a new movie or something in the last
A movie came out in 2020. Nobody watched that shit.
Yeah.
I think somebody was Velma last year, and all you women got inspired.
People just want to do sexy versions. People are just trying to sexify like old characters that didn't have sex appeal. I feel.
Is that what it is?
Like you ever noticed?
I don't know. I wanted to crack Velma's cheeks when I was 8. She had them glasses, nigga. I want to.
I guess so.
Scooby Dooby Doo.
No, but I do feel certain women will try and make
Certain women. All types of women.
all types of women. Yeah,
It's the one holiday where they can slut it out.
yeah.
No judgment, except for the
Let's slutify this character.
except for the incels on Twitter who are always gonna judge. But for the most part, it's
I
like,
feel
yeah, we can be a
like-
whore today.
All the times that I've dressed up, I really only did something once that was kind of like slutty. Other than that, I feel like I was pretty on par.
But were you sexy? Were you trying to be sexy? It's not about necessarily slutty. Were you trying to be sexy in the other costumes? Like, was it a police officer costume that wasn't too revealing, but it's still
No.
sexy?
I mean, for the most part, I'm fully
You
clothed.
had dress pants on and church shoes?
We live in fucking Canada. It's cold outside. Like, I was, what's her name? Like, Scary Spice once. Like, I wore leggings.
That's trying to be sexy.
like,
Next.
These
Next.
leggings were
Scary
leggings.
Spice is
I
sexy.
wore regular.
Scary Spice is sexy.
See,
Let's
it's one
not
thing
do
if
this.
you were
No,
a
but-
nurse, like a zombie
Let me
nurse
show
with
you-
blood,
But
or
she was
versus a sexy nurse.
My friend does Halloween every year, and she bodies it. Sandra. You know Sandra.
Sandra D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year, she was the kid from Matilda who eats too much. She forces him to eat the cake, and it's all over his face. And she had the hair out with it, too. This year, she was Dave Chappelle, crackhead version. It was,
They did a meme party. They were actually very
it was
creative.
dope. It was really dope.
All her friends dressed up as like different memes, and they all did like
It's a
made it into
metaverse
a
party.
digital. Yeah, but they also I think met up in real person too.
Yeah, no, they had a real party.
Like,
They had a real
partied
party, but
together.
they recreated the memes and made actual memes from
it,
from
and
the pictures. It was really smart.
But like I'm just like Norm was saying, like I'm not purposely making it sexy. Like I just fulfilled the character that it was. You know, if you say Scary Spice is sexy, then that's who she is.
Yeah,
it wasn't like I was purposely going and trying to like sexify.
Okay, what's the ugliest
character.
costume you've ever gotten? You've ever done? What's the ugliest role you've played on
Like
Halloween.
a sack of potatoes or something.
Yeah. I want to hear something unflattering because I know I won't.
I mean, this year I had like the makeup, like the dark
Fuck
makeup
that!
and shit
Fuck
like
out
that.
of here! You had the fucking clown shit. That should be Harley Quinn, and Harley Quinn is what? Sexy.
It wasn't Harley Quinn though.
But it's Harley Quinn-ish. Like you just put the clown makeup on your eyes and shit.
Yeah, that's all I
That's
did.
not ugly. See? When
No, I'm trying to
if
remember
I
all
see
my
a girl do
costumes.
something ugly,
Because I don't really
fucking
go
hate
out
you.
that much, you know?
well, we all don't go out that
Like,
much on
no,
Halloween.
I mean, I don't really do the Halloween parties like that.
Oh,
I'd be
okay.
like forgetting. I always want to do more, and
I'm
then
always
I just forget.
last minute.
Like, I really want to be like Charlie from, is it? Chucky from Rugrats. Like the red hair
Oh, okay.
and like the glasses. I really want to be
People
that.
will think you are Chucky, like the
Child's
villain.
play. Yeah.
They dress too similar. They got too much similar properties. I don't know why that those characters are like. Even the way he dresses, Chucky is very close to Chucky the doll. That's crazy. I
It's
never
just
thought
like
about
kids'
that.
clothes because they're both kids, right?
Yeah.
I was Lola Bunny once, but Lola Bunny's sexy.
See, sexy.
Yeah.
See.
I seen
Yeah.
a girl
Oh,
try to
sexy
be a
stuff.
sexy scarecrow. I'm just like,
Ugh.
no, man.
I was Wednesday. Wednesday wasn't sexy. You know, Wednesday Addams.
some
I fucks with some pigtails, nigga. Shit. Giddy up.
Okay, one year I was like, what's it called? What's that saying again?
Morgan Freeman.
When life hands you lemons.
Okay.
So like, I just wore a T-shirt that said life, and I carried around
Jesus
lemons.
Christ. You needed to get into some party last minute. That's crazy.
So I did that.
Did you give people lemons all night?
Yeah, well, if they wanted it, I had a whole basket full.
You just gotta give it to them. That's not about if they want it. That's the point of life
I'd
gives
be
you
like, here you
lemons.
go.
that's
You
a
want a
great
lemon?
one. Your life.
You should have been
just dressed up
forcing
as
it on
life.
people.
Yeah.
Just forcing it on
Just had
people.
a
He
t-shirt
loves
that was
that.
life.
He loves a good pun.
And like, you know, just have my little basket.
If I could dress up
Next
as a
year you'll be
pun,
the hand that no, you'll be the hand that the was it?
The hand
Fight
that
the
rocks.
hand that feeds you. You should do that.
Just let me see your hand.
Oh man, but we have to bounce out of here. Triz, what do you have? Porn? Okay, he's shooting a porn.
They're doing the casting couch.
He's doing an amateur.
Are we sitting on the couch?
An amateur bohemian porno.
He had a cleaner. He had like he had the 2 liter a bottle of cleaner. You see
Wow. See how
That's
intern
how he's
snitched on
paying
you? That's
his
crazy.
rent, yo.
He brought you honey, and this is what you do.
Hold on.
This is crazy.
Why was I'm trying to plan a baby shower, right? And so I'm on Pinterest looking for like favors that you can like give out at the end of the thing, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Why did they have little like honey jars that they were giving out? And I automatically thought about this man. And I was like,
Let's go.
This guy's sick. If intern has a daughter, we are not allowing her to be named Honey. I'm gonna tell you that right fucking now. I'll fight everyone.
Her name is Marmalade.
Glucose. Just something.
Corn syrup. Hello, daughter corn syrup.
Cornstarch. How are you? Thank you guys for tuning in. Another week, another classic. Like I said, Extra Gravy Comedy is coming. Make sure you guys stay tuned. About the ads.
Yes, please.
About the ads, we do not
GC
control.
brought it up today. He was like, you know, you guys have a lot of ads. He was like, you know, you had a Doug Ford one.
We have a lot of ads. I don't know about a lot of ads, but
I don't know.
we definitely do not control the ads. They are automated.
does not control the ads either.
Pardon me? Key Radio controls every single ad that has ever been on their platform.
It's all
However,
the
Extra
Bahamas
Gravy does
fault.
not. Yes. If you hear a lot of conch advertisements, it's not us.
conch, isn't it?
Conch, I don't like calling it that. It's very close. Thank you guys so much for tuning in another week.
You can't forget.
Oh, wait, next week.
Yeah, you gotta let
Next
them
week,
know.
yeah. We got to let them know, don't
Gotta
we?
let the people know.
We will
What's-
not be here. Will
we
we?
won't be here, but we will be.
Is it start next
elsewhere.
week?
It's not
No,
next
no,
week.
Nah, in 2 weeks.
two-
It's 2 weeks. 2
It's the
weeks.
week after
We'll be
that.
here next week.
We'll be here next
Oh,
week,
yeah,
guys.
we
Thank
will
you guys
be
so
here.
much for tuning in. I'm Marlon.
I'm Norm.
Alicia.
And that was the Extra Gravy.
As we don't have the capacity.